It is a beautiful night for football. Welcome to Goodrich Field. It's Pumpkin Bowl 2024. The regular season comes to a close. The Anoka Tornadoes are hosting the Wayzata Trojans. Along with Tim Anderson, I'm Jim Erickson. You know, there is football being played here tonight, Tim, but just the pomp and circumstance and everything surrounding Anoka right now with Halloween, this is always a festive event.
You know, you'd think it was homecoming again the way it is. It's such a different vibe out here on Pumpkin Bowl night, and that's what makes this such a fun evening. But beyond all the fun festivities and the little graveyard site they have over there, which I know you were fascinated about, there's a big football game here tonight, and there's a lot at stake for both teams, and that's what I think is going to be the thing when this thing gets kicked off. It'll be all about the football.
Yeah, Wayzata coming in 3-4, but they're coming off a huge win, a dominating win against Hopkins. They put 55 points on the board.
Yeah, it's been an offense that's had a hard time kind of finding its way. Two different guys have played quarterback. They've had 3 or 4 different guys become the runner for the team, and it's not on statistics. They're not blowing anybody away. If you look at their season-long numbers, you'd say, oh, man, they don't move the football very well. But you're right. Last week, they started to kind of find their mojo, and I expect to see the best version of this Wayzata team tonight, and it's going to be a good test for the Tornadoes.
And, Tim, speaking of mojo, Anoka seems to be getting theirs as the postseason nears after a very nice win last week against Osseo.
Yeah, nice win against Osseo, and I think this really all started, yes, they got the big win against Coon Rapids, yes, they got the big win against Osseo, but it was that road win against Centennial a couple weeks ago where they grinded out a 14-0 win that I think really gave this team the confidence to be a 2-seed potentially as we get into the tournament, and that's what they're shooting for tonight. Win this game, and you can be a 2-seed in the tournament no matter what, I think, and you're going to be a tough out no matter what. And it's all going to be about Zach Welch and Peyton Padani tonight. Welch is about 25, 28 yards away from 1,000 yards this season. He's been incredible, and Peyton Padani has looked much like the Peyton Padani of old the last couple of weeks. If he can keep moving the football and finding all the receivers, this could be a big night for Anoka.
It is the 76th annual Pumpkin Bowl. The last time Wayzata played in the Pumpkin Bowl, 1960. It's right here on the trophy. A 0-0 tie. I think we'll see some points tonight. The kickoff is coming up. Stay tuned for the Pumpkin Bowl on QCTV Sports. And from Goodrich Field, it is the fun, the excitement, the festivities of the Pumpkin Bowl. We're just about ready to kick it off along with Tim Anderson. I'm Jim Erickson, now upstairs here in the press box at Goodrich Field. The Anoka Tornadoes will be getting the ball here first tonight, and we'll see that offense. An offense that put up 55 points on the board last week against Osseo.
And they did it very early in the game as well. I mean, they were still pushing for almost 40 by the end of the half. They were making a big run at it early on, and they got it done with turnovers. They got it done with big plays.
Ebekwe and Hibbler will be back deep. And Wayzata will boom this one away. Nate Nagash is their kicker. And it'll be taken by one of the up men. Out to the 20-25, about the 24-yard line is where they are going to mark it. And on the return for the Tornadoes was Luke Deshane, their leading tackler. And we'll see this Anoka offense led onto the field, Tim, by Peyton Podani.
Yeah, and as we mentioned in the pregame, looking a lot better. He got off to a tough start to begin the season. Had a tough time finding receivers down the field. It felt like the only game that was working early was the screen game. But you saw him last week taking some big shots to Ebekwe and really getting some of those open targets downfield. So starting to find some confidence and some rhythm. Zachary
Welch, the running back behind him. First play of the 74th annual Pumpkin Bowl. The Tornadoes all-time 45-28-1. As we mentioned, that one tie, 1960 against this Wayzata team. Here is Welch, and a good pickup on first down as he'll be dragged down at about the 30-yard line. It's a gain of 6. Welch coming in here last week, 14 carries, 100 yards, right on 100 yards, 2 touchdowns. As we mentioned before, he's coming in 29 yards shy of 1,000, and they're going hurry up. 2nd down and 4 here for Pedani. In motion was Band. They'll swing it out to him on the flat. Caught, but he's going to be tackled immediately. Tyler Schumann, the defensive back, read that perfectly, and that's going to be a loss of a yard, 3rd down and 5.
Well, they put him in motion, and it just didn't fool anybody on Wayzata. They didn't move a guy with him. They stayed kind of in their coverage and in their zone, and they anticipated that wide receiver screen, that little quick out, and they read it. And that play took a little too long to develop. That ball's got to come out faster, I think.
Pedani last week, 18 of 27, 330 yards, 4 touchdowns, and no interceptions in the win over Osseo. Faced with a 3rd and 5 here from his 29-yard line. 4 wide receivers, far hash marks. It's Pedani. Good protection. Will float it here to the near side. It is caught and out of bounds. Drops it into the hands of Trey Borchers. And a gain of 13, 1st down, Anoka. That was a beauty.
Well, that's what they've been trying to do in recent weeks is they realize they have to get the ball to Trey Borchers, get it to Abekwe. Borchers is their leading receiver with 33 receptions coming in. They got him involved.
6 receptions last week for 118 yards, and it's on the ground. And here is Welch running downhill into Wayzata territory to the Trojans' 45-yard line.
And when they can pass the ball like that to Borchers down the field, now the running game opens up on 1st down. You can do anything you want. Big hole for Welch that time, and he was able to take it into Wayzata territory.
Back-to-back 1st down pickups here for Pedani. In motion is the tight end Buxton, and we'll have flags down here. Dead ball foul against the Tornadoes.
Buxton never got reset. He was still moving when that ball snapped.
Offense, number 68.
They're going to call that a 68, actually, too. The lineman must have jumped when he saw him moving. That's Logan Burns.
Yeah, Buxton is in motion. Then if there's other motion, let's see.
So, they zoom. Yeah,
right
there.
Yep.
Yeah, it's a good call. He was almost like he was anticipating Buxton coming behind him.
So that'll be a loss of 5. First penalty on the evening here for the Tornadoes. 1st down and 15 for Pedani. Anoka 5-2 in the conference, or in the district division. This is their only out of the North Division game here this year. Here's Welch right up the gut. He gets back to the original line of scrimmage, +2. Picks up 7 here for the Tornadoes.
Now it gets you back to a 2nd down and 9. Still probably a passing down, but at least it makes it a little more comfortable. You have a few more options in the playbook here. They still feel comfortable running that pistol. They ran a lot of shotgun in previous years, Jim. This year it's been pistol pretty much exclusively.
And that's Welch behind Podani. Handoff to him. Tried to split a couple of tacklers there. Will pick up a couple, but it'll bring up now a 4th down and long situation here for the Tornadoes.
Well, we'll get a 3rd here with the penalty, so it'll be 3rd down and about 7 or 8.
You are correct.
Well, that's what I'm here for, Jim. You know, I try to add that little bit of color to the broadcast, but 3rd down and 7 gives you got to figure out, do you want to take your shot? I think it's 4 down territory, don't you think, Jim? I mean, knowing the way Anoka, the way Bo is, you don't feel like they're going to punt here, that they're going to go for it no matter what.
Dustin Burton is over the ball, ready to snap it here back to Peyton Podani. It's a 3rd down and 7. And he'll pass. Good protection in the pocket, and across the middle it's caught. And that's going to be a 1st down. Charlie Hendrickson, big week last week for Hendrickson. 2 touchdown receptions, 3 receptions, 105 yards total. And his only 2 touchdowns of the season gets one there. Another 1st down conversion.
Getting him involved, I think, is a big piece of this, right? Because Borchers and Abekwe get a ton of the attention. If you can get some options for Hendrickson over the middle, I think that only gives you more weapons and more options in the passing game.
2 backs in the backfield now. Brody Rush is back there with Welch. From the Wayzata 28-yard line. It's Welch behind Walsh here to the near side. Rush with a nice block. There goes Welch down the sideline. Touchdown. Touchdown Welch, 28 yards, and Anoka strikes on the opening drive.
You know, and it looks kind of fancy in the backfield, right? You line up Brody Rush as sort of this fullback piece in this kind of mock pistol set. But what it is just old school football. You get a hat on a hat, you get a seal, you open the door up on the outside for Welch, and he's able to take it right in.
13th touchdown for Welch on the season. And Anoka is going to shift personnel here on the point after. I think they were going to show that swinging gate. Now they're going to go into the traditional extra point kick formation. Daniel Komish, 14 of 17 on the season in points after. And he puts that one up and through. So 8:16 left, first quarter, opening possession, less than 4 minutes off the clock, and an impressive drive here for the Anoka Tornadoes.
Yeah, take a look at this. Rush makes the first initial block. We don't quite see it there, but that's just enough to seal. And that seal block gave Welch all he needed to get to the outside, and he's so fast. Once he gets downhill, I mean, it's over.
Well, I think Vince Lombardi said it best. You get a seal here, and you get a seal here, and then you run it up the alley, is what he used to say.
It's what we like to say, right? It looks like a lot of eye candy in the backfield, and it looks really different, and the bells and whistles are kind of different with the offensive set. But that's kind of old school football that we just saw in the corner.
Anoka trying to break a 2-game losing streak here in the Pumpkin Bowl. They lost last year to eventual state champion Centennial 35-15. Fell to White Bear Lake the year before that, 45-20. Their last win in the Pumpkin Bowl was against Champlin Park. Battle for the paddle and the Pumpkin Bowl, 27-0 back in 2020.
In a game that was very not as attended as tonight's is.
No, not at all. And of course, you go back to one of the years there, we played right on Halloween. That was the COVID year. And here is the kickoff. It'll be taken by the Wayzata return man. Out across the 25, close to the 30-yard line on the return. And we'll see this Trojan offense here for the first time. Jackson Brown with the return, the sophomore.
He was running on empty right there.
He was running on empty, exactly.
I took that line from you, Jim. I'm sorry. Here's $5.
That's right. I wasn't going
there,
to be honest.
You weren't going to take that one?
Yeah.
Come on.
I was going to say he's going to the dance with his best friend's girl.
Oh, see.
No, that's Cars.
That's the Cars.
What's the one
yes.
from Ridgemont High? What was that song?
That's Somebody's Baby.
Somebody's Baby. That was it.
There you go.
First down and 10. Oscar Shope is the starting quarterback. Actually, they're going with Matthew Berklin. Oscar Shope was listed as a starter, but Matthew Berklin, who had a nice game last week, he wears number 15. He's out there to start this drive, and they go on the ground, and it's a gain of 4. Second down and 6 yards to go. Their running back is Caden Wong. He had a 3-yard touchdown rush last week. They scored 55 points in a win, 55-6 over Hopkins last week.
So a little subterfuge from Coach Brown, bringing Berklin in to start over Shope.
Lambert Brown in his 9th season here at Wayzata, on the ground with Wong, testing the interior of that Anoka defense. He will fight his way for about 3 or 4. It'll bring up a 3rd down and short. And of course, when Lambert Brown took over the job 9 years ago, did lead him to the Prep Bowl championship in 2019, defeated the Champlin Park Rebels 35-20 back in 2019.
Well, there's no shortage of talent in that building. It's been a little bit of an odd year for Wayzata as they try to kind of rebuild.
They've got a 3rd and 2 here, Wayzata. Bodie Goger is their tight end on the left side, set up as a wing, and here's Berklin. He's going to run it. He can run. And on an option play, gets that first down out to the 44-yard line. First down of the game for Wayzata. They move the sticks.
Yeah, that's kind of a traditional play that's kind of making a return in high school football, Jim, this year. That read option for the quarterback where he kind of sees or keys on one of the linebackers or keys on somebody on that line and says, all right, if they go this way or they shade this way, I'm going to pull it back and keep it, or if they go this way, we're going to hand it off.
Berklin had 2 touchdown passes and a touchdown rushing last week, 3 scores total in that win over Hopkins. First down 10 from just shy of the 45. It's Wong. And Wong fights his way up close to midfield at about the 48-yard line.
And a lot of publicity goes to Anoka with their offensive players, and rightfully so. But that front line, that front defensive line in this 3-4 has done a terrific job this year with Berglund, Smith, Michael Chamberlain. They've been terrific. And then, of course, those linebackers of Fox, DeShane, and Seaman and Knapp. I mean, that front 7 has made life very difficult on teams this year.
A lot of Halloween orange out in the crowd here tonight. Game time temperature 55, but that temp is dropping. Second down and 5 for Berklin. Hard count out of the pistol. There's the option. He's going to keep it, try to bounce it outside. He broke an ankle tackle and leans into Anoka territory to the 47, picking up 4. And a 3rd and short situation here for the Trojans.
Yeah,
3 and 4 on the season.
Cooper Bakke had him by the ankles, as you said, but a good job by Berkland to escape that and get them up to a 3rd and really short.
3rd and 1. Matthew Berkland, junior quarterback, 5'11", 180 pounds, running the offense. It's Wong, and he's stood up. There's the leading tackler for the Tornadoes, busting through. Luke Deshane, the linebacker, stopped him dead in his tracks, 4th down.
Yeah, Luke Deshane has had a terrific year, and just an example of his football instinct. Senses what they're going to do on that 3rd and short, and they're lucky that they even got it back to the line of scrimmage on forward progress, setting up 4th and short.
4th and 1, maybe a few inches longer than the 3rd and 1. Again, the tight end here on the near side is Gerger. He's the wing. 2 receivers, bottom of your screen, and that wide receiver spread wide on the far side is one of their top receivers, Sam Boo.
They've pressed 8 guys to the box here.
And a lot of discussions, a lot of looks over to the sideline by the quarterback, Berkland, and Wayzata will be forced to call a timeout.
And the one thing about this offense from Wayzata is it's not like they're going to design a lot of exotic pass plays. So if you're Anoka and your defensive coordinator, Adam Denicky, you key in on that and you bring 8-9 guys to the box and you say, all right, if you're going to run, you're going to have to run against all of us. And that's going to force Wayzata to make some different calls at the line of scrimmage.
So with the timeout here, it's Pumpkin Bowl. It's 2024. It's the 74th annual. I think I mentioned that the Tornadoes all-time 45, 28 and 1, but they're 4 and 6 in the last 10. In the last 10 years, their wins were over Champlin Park, Osseo, Champlin Park, and back in 2013, it was Elk River.
There's been some lean years in there for this Tornado team, but they have come out of it nicely the last few. And again, it's a credit to what Coach Bo Wasserich has done. And, gotten everybody kind of excited, got the school excited, got the community excited for playing some good football.
Big play here. Tornadoes scoring on the opening possession, leading at 7-0, 4th down and a yard. Wong will be in the backfield out of that pistol for Berkland, the quarterback. Takes the snap. It'll be Berkland. Look left. Now he scrambles. 1st down and more. He's to the Anoka 40. Hesitates and gets motoring again to the near sideline. Thrown out of bounds at the 32. I don't know if that was a broken play or the fake, but he went left and there was nowhere to go. If that was an improvisation going to the right, it was pretty good.
Either way, it's really good. I actually think this is a planned read option, but maybe, he has to go the other way. But clearly he was going to keep it. Especially the way Anoka broke through that line, you have to create some kind of deception, and they were able to get it. Whether it was planned or not, it totally worked.
14, now 16-yard gain. That's a 1st down for Wayzata. 4th down conversion. And they continue the drive. Berkland, play action to Wong. He's going to pass for the first time. Across the middle, it's caught 10-5 and down inside the 5 to about the 1 to Tony Lay, who had a pair of touchdown receptions last week. And Wayzata knocking on the door. They'll mark him down at the 2.
If you're going to pass, you got to pass on time, and that's exactly what that was. 1, 2, 3, bam, ball's out. Sidearms slinging from the quarterback, but it is right on the money, and that thing was almost in for 6. Beautiful throw by the quarterback, Berkland.
30-yard gain. Now full house backfield. Power set. Wong, touchdown. And Wayzata answers with Caden Wong running it in from 2 yards out. And they're a point after here from tying it up.
Well, that's a great answer. And that's the key to running a really good option offense is, you're going to do some stuff on the ground. You're going to maybe throw it 8 to 10 times during the game. But on the ground, you're going to want to make sure that you are constantly changing the looks and misdirecting the defense. And I thought Berkland did a great job on that drive, on the read options, and then he kept it on certain plays and kept that defense guessing.
Nate Nagash is the kicker. The holder is the other quarterback, Oscar Shope. And it's up and good. We're tied at 7 with 4:04 left to go here in our first quarter.
Well, we got a little something brewing over here.
Well, we've already got more points than they scored in 1960.
That's true.
They went the whole game 0-0. My dad was on that team. I just called him. You were here. I called him before.
That's true. You did.
He was on that team playing for Stan Nelson as a 61 Anoka grad. And he played in that game, and I asked him, why was it 0-0? He remembered Wayzata. He remembered a tie. He remembered that it was maybe cold, but he could not remember why it was 0-0. It was just a defensive battle, apparently.
I was waiting for an old school, well, the wind was gusting 20 miles out of the north, Jim.
The gales of November came early, and, you know, it was sideways rain or anything. He didn't.
The field was mud.
You think he would have remembered that. But.
Yeah, I guess not. We didn't get the details I thought we would get.
Well, he probably went out shooting squirrels the next day at his place out by Andover.
Or he probably needed therapy after it was done and just wanted to block it out of his memory.
And that, again, is the only tie ever in the history of the Pumpkin Bowl. 1960. Twins and Vikings weren't even here yet. Think about that.
This was probably the only game in town.
The only game in town. That and Gopher football. So here comes the kick by Wayzata. Nagesh. Abekwe is back deep, but again, it's going to be to the far side of the field. And Hibbler on the return this time, out across the 30 to the 33. Might mark it at that. They're going to go 34-yard line on that kick return here by Anoka's Hibbler, and it'll be 1st and 10, all tied at 7.
And when they put those two back there, they've got burner potential. Both Hibbler and Abekwe have the ability to take it the other way. And it's still a good return. You'll take it at the 34-yard line and work with this with 3:58 to go in the first quarter.
Afi Abekwe leads the team with 7 receiving touchdowns. He's at the bottom of your screen here, spread wide out, all the way outside the numbers, basically. Burt Buxton, the tight end, in motion. Hand off to Welch. And he hurdles a defender trying to get to the edge. And he hurdles Cooper Cleveland, the defensive back that was coming up to make the tackle, and he hurdles his way for a gain of 3.
Yeah, Welch, I think, saw the seal, but in that opportunity, you have one guy to beat, and it's that upcoming safety coming up from the top. And he was just trying to leap him because he knows if he does, he's probably got a 15, 20-yard gain.
Here's Padani. They'll go with the jet sweep. Abekwe, far side, makes a cut through the hole, 1st down. Anoka across their 45 to the 46-yard line, gain of 9 and a 1st down.
We talk about the speed of Anoka. Right there's another example of it with Abekwe. He comes in on the jet sweep and just outruns the defense. I don't think the defense is bad here, but there's some good blocking up ahead by the Tornadoes. And it's all speed of Abekwe once he turns the corner.
4th 1st down here for the Tornadoes. They'll swing it out. It is caught here by Borchers. Cuts it upfield. And another nice gain on 1st down here for the Tornadoes. They pick up 8 on the carry and on the reception and the run. And the tackle made by William Eisinger. A linebacker is a junior here for the Trojans.
Coach Bo definitely picking up the pace on the offense and working some really short, efficient throws for Padani, giving him confidence early in this game.
Lone back behind Padani is Brody Rush. 2nd down and 2. 2 receivers left, 1 right. It'll be Rush. Hit at the line, and he's going to go down. Tackled immediately, getting him wrapped up, was Aiden Fartacek, the senior linebacker, 5'10", 215 pounds. Good form tackle there, 3rd down.
Yeah, and they're happy to have Brody Rush back. I mean, they didn't have him for the first part of the year because he was still getting over a knee injury. But he's that low to the ground bowling ball back, and he's just a sophomore, and I know Coach Bo's pretty high on him.
Well, remember how he burst onto the scene last year as a freshman. We're going, who's this freshman? Where's he coming from? And boy, a big splash onto the scene last year here for this Tornado team. 3rd down and a couple to Welch. Tries the right side, cuts off tackle, and looks like he's got it up for a 1st down, and it is. 3-yard gain, and the Tornadoes move the sticks again. Their 5th 1st down of the game.
You love Welch's speed and his downhill running, but he's also a big, powerful back, too. And so he's not afraid to stick his nose in and just get those tough yards, and that's what you want your running back to do. Can you break a tackle, get you 2-3 tough yards when you need it? In that case, Welch was able to do it.
Offensive line for Anoka: Bennett Jorgensen, Dustin Burton, Andrew Kriz, Logan Burns, and Mason Brent, who also serves as the long snapper. Doing a nice job here running and passing. Here's a swing near side, caught a little bit high, brought down by Caden Band down the sideline. Gets some room, cuts back in at the 15, and will be tackled down to about the 12. See, they mark him down at the 14-yard line. And what a catch and run there by Ban.
That was all Caden Ban. This throw is high, and and you would think he was going to be just swallowed up by that Wayzata defense, but he makes a guy miss, makes a couple guys miss, then watch that little turn move right there. Love that. Caden Ban makes a big play.
Defensive lineman chased him all the way down to make the catch.
Wayzata.
And make the tackle. Lalith Salati able to track Ban down and make the tackle. Touchdown saving tackle. When we return, it's going to be first down and 10 ball at the 14-yard line here after the timeout.
And Wayzata's already burned their second timeout of the first quarter.
Think about that.
They've got one left here after this, and it's and it might just be to take a breath here because the Tornadoes have been able to march 2 possessions just right up the field, and so you're just trying to make adjustments on the fly if you're Wayzata, and hoping you can hold them down, maybe keep them to a field goal here in this spot. It's going to be a high score. I think we're going to see some points here, Jim.
Week 8 of the season. And you can see the Metro North.
That's incorrect.
That is not, Maple Grove's undefeated.
Maple Grove's going to lock up a 1 seed in this thing. And I think that's important to know in the QRF, right, is when you start looking at those numbers week to week, and you start seeing Wayzata, they basically cinched it up. They're the only team that really knows for sure where they're going to be.
Well, it's the Pumpkin Bowl, so somehow somebody got into our graphics machine, and it's haunted.
They were spooky.
It was a ghost.
55 points each. It's very spooky out there last week.
Maple Grove undefeated. They win the district championship here, North Division, and they'll be the number 1 seed of the section. There's Welch bouncing off tackles, and he's down to the 5, close to first down. Gain of about 9 yards here once again for Welch.
That is a vintage Zach Welch run right there as he breaks a tackle. Again, we talked about the tough yards. That's getting the tough yards. You hit the hole, maybe 3-4 yards, you're met with a linebacker. You fight through that linebacker and get 6 more yards after that.
Anoka scored on their first possession. They are threatening to score on possession number 2. Second down and about a yard. Just inside the 5-yard line here for Pedani. That's Welch behind him. Tight end in motion. Welch up the middle to the goal line and just shy. He'll get a first down. It'll be first down and goal Tornadoes.
They may take this down to the end of the quarter, but maybe they'll try to run it now with 23 seconds to go. We'll see what Coach Bo wants to do. Doesn't look like a lot of urgency.
No, not a lot of wind right now, so you're really not playing wind. It's not a wind situation or wind game here at this point, as the wind has really died down here tonight. First and goal, 3-2, and we will get the whistle in the end of our first quarter of play. Both teams have scored on their possession. It's been an outstanding first quarter of play. We'll move to the second quarter here for the Pumpkin Bowl. All tied at 7, but the Tornadoes on the doorstep here on QCTV Sports. Anoka strikes on the opening drive.
You know, and it looks kind of, and that's
stood up. There's the leading tack down inside. And happy Halloween, Pumpkin Bowl 2024. And Anoka on the doorstep, first down and goal from just inside the 1-yard line here for the Tornadoes. What do? You go to Welch again here, I suppose.
Yeah, you know, why not? I mean, he's certainly gotten you this far, and all you're trying to do is get, 6 to 8 inches, and you got to think Welch can do that. So I would like to think they'll try to do that one time here and then take it from there.
Far hash mark here, first and goal. First play of quarter 2, Anoka trying to reclaim the lead. Snap, handoff Welch. They'll whistle it dead, though.
Yeah, I think we got
no play.
False start again. Somebody might be moving as Buxton came in motion again. We'll see.
That's got to be driving. I know just 5-yard penalties, but again here it moves you back from inside the 1 just a little timing here and just
reading the lips
just a little
of the,
movement here.
And reading the lips of the ref, it sounded like he said 14, like it's Brody Lackinen.
Huh.
The wide receiver who is sitting way away from the play. But I don't want to put that on Brody if it's not him, but that's what it looked like he said.
He's all the way outside the numbers here. Beckway, top of your screen there to the left of the formation. Welch again, the lone back. Buxton, the tight end, is on that left side. Straight handoff to Welch, and he's going to get to the 5. A little more room now, a little more breathing room for that Wayzata defense, and they'll make the stop. The 5-yard line, 2nd and goal.
Well, they pinned their ears back that time and just dominated the Tornadoes at the point of attack. Watch them in the backfield right there. That's number 72 for this Wayzata team. That's Evan McCarty, and he was in the backfield, 2-3 yards deep when Welch got the ball.
Welch really had no chance. 2nd and 5.
Might see another quick out, little smoke route pass here potentially.
Buxton in motion, left to right. Play action. The pass across the middle is incomplete, but pass interference. Trying to go to Trey Borchers, and a defensive back had his arm around his back, draped on him.
So you run a little.
Pass interference. Defense number 4. That penalty will be assessed. Half the distance to the goal line. Still 2nd down.
Yeah, so it's not the automatic first, but it does move you a little closer as Tyler Schumann gets called for that one. And that's where you run that little quick hit. Looking for Borchers in the end zone. And again, if they're not going to give you automatic first downs, always do that.
Yeah, that's what I meant. That's the other thing. I don't know. I've never agreed with that rule. Defensive holding is an automatic first down, I think, still. But because you could have pass interference as long as you want. Right?
I would interfere on every play.
Here's a little toss to Welch, racing to the corner, and he gets there. Touchdown. What an effort by Welch. And it's a touchdown. Zachary Welch just would not be denied and had the speed to get to the corner and get to the pylon. Touchdown, Tornadoes.
Really good play by Zach Welch, and he's very excited, as you can see when he comes to the sideline. But one thing you got to love about that is he just kept the legs moving. It looked like he was going to be tripped up. Then it looked like he was going to be pushed down. He would fall, kept his balance, kept his legs moving, and they get a TD.
Extra point is going to be up and good. So Komish hits it. And the Anoka Tornadoes here hosting Pumpkin Bowl, back up by a touchdown. 2 possessions, 2 touchdowns here for Anoka. Offense right now running very efficiently.
There's a good example of what Welch can do in the corner, and he was able to turn that corner, help them out. But again, you get 3 extra yards closer to the goal line. It gives you more options in your playbook.
Now we see if Wayzata can answer again, just as they did the first time around.
It's been punch, counter punch so
has.
far.
Both teams' defensive coordinators trying to find a way to stop the other team. Now, this is what happened last week with Anoka. They scored right away. Osseo marched down the field. They scored. But then after that, Anoka defensively really made some adjustments and really got after it after that and really shut the Orioles down pretty much the rest of the game.
And I think there was a little bit of a thought that, playing on a Thursday night, they came out just a little lethargic, maybe a little unfocused, and it took them that punch in the mouth by Osseo to kind of get them dialed in. So far tonight, it does feel like, at least on the offensive side, very focused. It's a very, very driven group of guys.
Komish to kick. And it will be Jackson Brown again. To the middle and will not make it back to the 20. He'll be tackled and swarmed under there by Anoka special teams at the 19. So inside their own 20 is where the Wayzata offense will take over here, 1st down and 10.
Now that'll be the key here for Wayzata. Are they going to continue to pound that read option? One thing to keep an eye on, and they showed it. They only passed once on that first possession, but it was really effective. They timed it perfectly. You wonder if you will see them try to work some play action this drive, or if they're going to continue to try to work on trying to run between the tackles.
When you think Wayzata football, you think running the football. The year they won the championship, they're a running team. The year that they went to the championship game, lost to Eden Prairie earlier in the decade, they were a run-heavy team. Matthew Berkland leads the team back out onto the field, out of the pistol. ready to work. Wong in the backfield takes the handoff, sneaks his way through a hole off that right side. Here comes 2 flags from both directions. As of right now, it's a gain of 3. We'll have to sort it out. That came in at a point where it's part of the tackle here. I don't know if there's a hold. We'll wait and see.
Yeah, could get a hold, could get a face mask on the defense, could get both.
Personal foul, face mask, number 28 defense.
Yeah.
That's a 15-yard penalty from the end of the run.
Yeah.
That yardage will result in a first down.
So a face masking call.
Face mask on the tackle. So the 2 officials, one behind the play, one in front of the play, they both saw it because they both threw their flag right there.
Yeah.
It turned his helmet.
That'll do. They got number 28, Aaron Knapp, on that one.
So first down here for Wayzata off the penalty. Out across their 35. Here's Birkeland to throw near side. It's caught into the hands of Jackson Brown inside the 20 to the 15. And tackled inside the 15-yard line. On the coverage and making the tackle was Mossman. But a big pickup here from Wayzata.
And Mossman just kind of loses him in coverage as it's just one-on-one on the outside, but Birkeland puts it right in the bucket. A perfect throw. And, again, just easy one for Jackson Brown. Good pitch and catch. They've only thrown 2 passes, but they've been really good.
That was a pickup of 50 yards here. Birkeland down to the 14-yard line. Fake to Wong. Crossing pattern on the little slant. And he wanted to go to his favorite target, Lay. It was deflected. And they're lucky that did not get picked off. Second down.
Yeah, that's pretty dangerous there. But I love the kind of the aggressiveness that you're seeing. That time trying to match up with Cooper Bakke, who's pretty solid corner on the outside for the Tornadoes. And the coverage was there on that slant.
Wayzata looking over to their sideline. Year ago, Wayzata finished 2-7, 1-4. They're in the West Division of the Metro District. Anoka in the North Division of the Metro District. So playing a interdivisional game.
Yeah, it took forever and a day to get that play called.
Yeah. And I don't think they were trying to get that play off.
Oh, they
called
the
timeout. They got the timeout before the flag, and that's their last timeout.
Yeah, they're out of timeouts with 10 minutes to go in the half. That's not what the doctor ordered. I think you'd like to have one in your pocket at least.
Now you wonder, is that because Wayzata just kind of failing to be in a situation where they're ready to go, or is it something that the Anoka defense is doing that's throwing them off and taking more time than usual?
Well, and I'm not certainly going to put this on the personnel thing, but you notice that when you have a different quarterback on the starting sheet than what end up going out on the field, that sometimes the communication lines are different, maybe the shifts are different, the rotations are different. It's hard to say. You're not on those sidelines to kind of know, but it does feel like there's been some communication breakdowns, either offensively or defensively on Wayzata, and that's why they've had to burn some timeouts.
And it looks like the Spirits, the Goblins, have been exercised here. And the standings up to date now, as we mentioned. Maple Grove, they'll win the division here at 7-0, 5-2. They clinched a couple of weeks ago. They'll win it by 2 games over Anoka and Blaine. So after the timeout, no more timeouts here for Wayzata. Second down and 10. Just inside the Anoka 15-yard line. Wayzata trying to answer again. Wong shifts just to the right of Birkeland. And he'll give it to Wong, and he is going to be stacked up and tackled. Javen Starks, the defensive lineman, wrapped him up.
Javen Starks, another player who's having a really good year. Fast kid, and they play him on that edge a little bit at one of those linebacker positions. But when he comes in, he's just a playmaker. I feel like he just makes 2 to 3 plays a game when he's in, and he's a backup outside linebacker is what they have him listed at on the depth chart.
Of course, last week, Leroy Houston, number 70, with a 19-yard pick 6 against Osseo. Birkeland to pass off the play action, flushed, stops, throws across the middle, incomplete. He wanted Lay, but threw that one in the ground in front of Lay.
And Jim, if you don't think you were the most popular man at Anoka High School last week when Leroy was playing that video of his touchdown to everybody who wanted to see it, your voice was everywhere during the school this week.
That's good. Where are my royalties?
Yeah, I've got to talk to you about that, but you were everywhere.
That's super.
I'm like, oh, that is the pleasing baritone of Jim Erickson.
Well, it's going to be with 4th down. A field goal attempt here for Nate Nagash. 30 yards. It is up, end over end, and it's short.
Yeah,
That died
cold night.
Cold night, ball not traveling. That died short of the crossbar. So a 30-yard field goal, no good. And the lead stays here for Anoka, 14-7.
So it's kind of interesting because they call the timeout. They had run 2 pass plays in a row. They call the timeout, and they're not able to really execute. They don't look the same out of that timeout. You just wonder if I wonder what changed. Like, because they were in such a groove and such a rhythm, running whatever they wanted.
Yeah, they had the big 50-yard pass play to Jackson Brown, making sure that tender is the night of football here tonight.
The result of the kick was a touchback. Anoka will start at the 20.
So you are and to think you play country music and yet you know all this Jackson Brown stuff. That's the same.
I know
stuff,
a few.
Really. It's the same.
I couldn't think of the one from Fast Times at Ridgemont High, so I think I lost some cred there.
It's been a while since you've seen the movie. I mean, I have to give you. I mean, you were a high schooler when that movie was out.
Oh, big time. 1st down and 10. They move the ball to the 20 with the missed field goal inside the 20. Here's Badani. He'll give it to Welch. He'll gain about 3. With the Tornadoes holding on to a 1-touchdown lead now. Evan McCarty, we've called his name a couple of times tonight, makes another tackle there.
Yeah, I'm impressed with Evan McCarty and his ability to get into that backfield of Anoka. He's winning his battle at the line of scrimmage pretty consistently, and they may run away from him soon. Look for an adjustment potentially from Anoka to go maybe to the other side of the field.
We're not keeping stats, but Welch has got to be getting very close, if not already going over that 1,000 mark. Picked up 3 there, 2nd and 7. Here's a toss to the near side. That's caught by Hendrickson. And he'll turn to the sideline and be very close to an Anoka 1st down, and it is. On a 2nd down play, 1st down Tornadoes for Charlie Hendrickson.
That's 2 to Charlie already tonight, so they're trying to get him involved, and that's, like I said, that's a positive because that shows you that the only one they haven't found yet is Abekwe.
Hendrickson, like I said, 2 touchdown receptions last week, and he's becoming a real force. Speaking of a force, here's Welch with a nice cutback. Back to the near side, all the way to the logo, and all the way into Wayzata territory to the 49-yard line. That's a 21-yard zigzagging run there by Travis Welch, or Zachary Welch.
And it looks like they went the other way, right? They went away from McCarty on that run and said, okay, we're going to take it up the far side, but Holding's going to bring this back.
10-yard penalty from the previous spot. Replay 1st down.
Flag was back at the 27.
Maybe that's why McCarty wasn't in the play.
Right.
Maybe he was being held.
So scrap that 21-yard pickup and move that ball back towards the 20 here inside, just barely inside the 20. Tip of that ball touching that 20-yard stripe here in the first half. 8:09 left to go in half number 1.
There's a look at that drum line from Anoka. Congrats to those marching band Tornadoes winning their state championship last weekend.
Well,
Very
that's
cool.
fantastic.
US Bank. That was awesome.
So 1st down, 20. Tornadoes from their 20. Welch behind Podani. Takes the handoff, and he is hit immediately. Briggs up. Defensive tackle, all kinds of penetration. Loss of 5 back to the 15 with a penalty, and now that. Tornadoes going in the wrong direction.
Yeah, you might want to cue the white flag music here from Dido because you might want to start waving it. This drive has gone backwards in a hurry. You got the 1st down, then you get a big holding call, and then just, again, the offensive line blown up at the line of scrimmage by this Wayzata defense. Big play there by Opp.
So Rush now will come in at the running back spot. Tornadoes getting the play from the sideline. 2nd down and 25.
And what do you got here in the playbook for this?
I would say just try and get a chunk and make it 3rd down and manageable if you can.
Timeout.
And
Anoka.
Coach Bo Wasurik, 6th season here for the Tornadoes with a career record here at Anoka of 20-30. Will call the timeout, and they'll discuss just that.
Yeah, just try to think of what they want to do here. And I think you're right, Jim. Just try to get a chunk back. Let's try to get 10 yards, and try to get to 3rd and 10 and see if we can do something at 3rd and 10. 3rd and 10 is at least manageable. You got play options. You can run some different stuff. You can run some quick slants, stuff like that. If you get nothing here and it's 3rd and 25, then it gets really difficult.
Wind has picked up as well. Those flags, those tornado flags in the opposite part of the field, opposite us here, on top of those visiting bleachers, those were limp about 10 minutes ago. They have picked up here so far. And you can take a look at the flags up above the goal post tonight here as well.
55 degrees game time temp, but no doubt we've been moving probably into the 40s now at this stage.
2nd down, 25. Man in motion. Toss here he's going to pass. Rush throws it deep, up for grabs. Who's going to get it? It's deflected. Almost caught and then almost intercepted. Brody Rush threw that ball, and there was all kinds of coverage back there. Beckway was there, Borchers, Hendrickson down the field here for Anoka.
Well, Rush is blown up as he throws this. I mean, he is waylaid, and now Afia Beckway's got to become a cornerback and play defense to try to make sure that ball's not intercepted by Max Beninga.
And it fell incomplete. So a little razzle-dazzle. They tried to get it all in one play, and now that brings up 3rd and 25.
And again, the pressure from the defensive line of Wayzata. And you can see it's pretty wide on the front. They've only got 3 guys rushing in the front.
And another timeout here for Anoka. So they call a couple of quickies here.
Timeout, Anoka.
14-7. It's 14-7 here, and they know they're kind of backs against the wall. They've been going the wrong way, wrong direction, going backwards here. They don't want to hand the ball to Wayzata here and give them a gift with under 7 minutes left of the half.
Yeah, this is the game within a game. When you talk to Coach Bo a lot, as I've done this season, he'll talk about, hey, if we can make a couple first downs and flip the field position, that's a big deal. And so he doesn't like to concede anything. You'll never see him just be like, well, all right, just run the ball twice and we'll punt and try again. It's how many yards can we get and try to play this field position game. And that's why he looks at these downs as not just throwaway downs. These are important plays. That's why he's not afraid to throw a trick play with Brody Rush right there. Just unfortunate that Brody took a hit. And again, you got to credit what Wayzata is doing on the defensive line because they are winning right now at that place.
Yeah, I think with that throw, he would definitely sailed on him because of that hit. I think he saw the guy coming. And 3rd down, 25. Padani to throw. Pressure up the middle. Scrambling. Still looking down the field. Will throw it downfield. In the middle. It is caught. To the 45 to the 41-yard line here for the Tornadoes. Big pickup. That's Welch down the field who caught that one.
You put Welch out in a pattern and not a screen pattern, which is what you're used to. Watch Padani keep this play alive. Good job by him, and then keeping his eyes down the field. And Welch kind of does a basketball move and boxes out the safety so that he can catch that ball. Really interesting play.
That was a 43-yard gain on 3rd and 25. And it's first down here for the Tornadoes. Good protection, really set that up. And now it's Rush. Breaks one tackle. He's inside the Wayzata 35, about the 34. And a gain and a pickup of 8 on that play.
You want to talk about soul crushing. You get a 3rd down and 26, and you're thinking, man, we can get this ball back at the 50, make a run the other way, and then a big play gets put on you. And it can just be so deflating for a defense when that happens.
2nd down and short for Anoka. Padani getting the play. He's got Welch behind him in the pistol. Beckway, the lone receiver here on the right side of the formation. 3 receivers top of the formation.
I wouldn't be surprised if they go up top.
And they go to Welch on the ground. Spins off a 1 tackle, and he works his way for maybe a yard, but it's going to be short of the first down. 3rd and short, Tornadoes.
I thought they'd take a shot up top, Jim, because they had the 3 wide receivers, and it was basically 3-on-2. They had the 2 corners coverage to the outside, but it was single high safety. And so you thought that they would maybe try to test something on the outside, but they chose to run instead. And not a bad play at 2nd and short. Now it's 3rd and short. You still got all your options.
Ball resting at the 33-yard line. Anoka stopped Wayzata last time. Tornadoes trying to convert here and add to their lead. Wayzata will get the ball to start the second half. Padani, Welch, left side, gets a seal and gets a first down inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. He finds that little opening and is able to pick up 4 to first down.
I think that's been the big difference with Anoka, too, this year. Not just the fact that Welch is a talented player, but they were kind of known as this passing finesse team for a couple of years under Coach Bo. That, yeah, they ran, but they sort of ran because they had to kind of just keep balance. Now they're truly balanced with more of a power running approach, and that's made them very hard to game plan against.
Welch, 6 foot 205, the senior. Rush now in there at the running back spot. First and 10, just inside the 30, the 29-yard line. In motion is Borchers. Rush gets run over by a lineman, and the throw here near side of Beckway, the intended receiver, is going to be incomplete. Blowing that play up was Briggs Opp, 250-pound defensive lineman. He bowled over Rush, and then he got into the face here of Padani.
But Padani, that ball's got to come out. As Borchers is coming out, he's open. And I think he was trying to see a Beckway further down, but it was like you had Trey Borchers for a 5, 6, 7-yard gain.
He was kind of the check down on that.
Yeah, I mean, he was coming in motion. You thought the play was for him the whole way, and I was just surprised that it didn't go to him right away.
Second down and 10. Ball at the 29 here for Anoka. Wayzata trying to stiffen here defensively and keep it a one-score game. 4:11 left to go first half. Padani to pass. Setting up the middle screen, and he's got it to Rush. Rush leans forward, but he's going to be tackled. That was mano y mano. It was one-on-one, and a big tackle there by Kyle Boutwell. Kyle Boutwell made the tackle, third down.
First time they've really shown the screen in this game, and that's been such a big part of the offense this year. Rush took a tough hit at the end of that. And you watch right here. He breaks the first tackle, but watch this late bam right there. And that had to get Brody off the field for a play or two. He felt that one.
They did pick up some yardage on that, but not as much as they would have wanted. Third down and 8. 27-yard line here for Anoka. Padani looking left. Now he's going to have to scramble. Runs away from the pressure. To the far side, he's going to be sacked. May have gotten back to the original line of scrimmage, but Wayzata really getting after the Anoka quarterback here. A number of players applying the pressure, and one of them, Eli Diane, the sophomore defensive back, number 33, at the end of the play. But you can see here, number 9 coming through, Caden Carson, flushing him out, and then pretty much finishing the play was Diane. Fourth down and 9.
And, yeah, this is no man's land. You're not going to kick a field goal here, so you're going to go. So they'll stay out here and try to pick up 9 yards.
28-yard line, Welch in the backfield. Hendrickson, top of your screen, 3 wide receivers right. And Anoka will use that last time out.
Yeah, with 2:38 to go, both teams have used it. And this is an exasperated Coach Bo, as you can see. Very animated as he walks into that huddle, as he's not thrilled about something there, and I think just trying to make sure that he's got his house in order, because this is a critical down right here.
And Wayzata's done a nice job, just like the Anoka defense stiffened after Wayzata had gotten the ball into the red zone. Same thing here. Anoka not quite into the red zone, but certainly they had the big conversion for a first down, and certainly appeared to be poised to march that ball back into the red zone and threaten for a touchdown, but their defense has really stiffened here, forcing the 4th and long.
Yeah, this is a big stop for Wayzata, and if they can make it and turn this thing over and get their offense back on the field, even if they're not able to score before halftime, if you can keep it 14-7, you'd have to feel like you won right there. You have to feel like you had won the quarter, won the half, etc., and you'd have to be feeling really good about yourself.
So after the Anoka timeout, both teams have used all 3 of their timeouts. So even if Wayzata gets it back, they would not have any timeouts to work on offense to try and move the ball down the field.
They stack the receivers to the inside. Going to try some deception here.
4th down and 9. Borchers, Ban, and Abikwe, those receivers here on the near side. Off of the snap, scrambling, toss, and it's incomplete. Wanted to go to Borchers, and that ended up getting broken up. Good defensive play by Wayzata's Tyler Schumann And he got a piece of that, incomplete, and the Wayzata defense holds, and they'll take over on downs.
Yeah, Coach Bo wants pass interference there on Borchers, and it looked like they were holding Borchers pretty good there at the spot where the ball came, but I don't know if they were holding him before that, and that play took, I think, a little too long to develop. And again, the pressure was too good on Padani right there, as you can see that little hook at the end.
Yeah, I can see what he's talking about. Ball was in the air, and it really looked like his arm was hooked and trapped by the defensive back, but it was not seen by the official. No flag. And Wayzata takes over on downs. 2:31 left, out of first downs.
It's a tough flag to get in that spot, too, unfortunately.
Out of timeouts, first down and 10. They go to Wong on the ground, gain of 6.
The conversation that needs to be had on the Anoka sideline when they get there is figuring out how to slow down the defense of Wayzata. I mean, the defensive front has been really good at getting pressure.
Second down, 4. Keeper by the quarterback. This is the other quarterback now, Oscar Chopin, for the first time. Number 14, he's a 6'1 senior. And he keeps it there, enough for a first down, gains 5 out to the 40.
Well, they say if you have 2 quarterbacks, do you have 1? And that's going to be the question here now. They had Birkland, who I thought was pretty effective in that first quarter and a half. Now they go to Shope. And we'll see how long he's in there.
Shope, back to pass. Toss across the middle. It's caught, and then it's stripped. Loose ball, kicked around. We got a loose football down inside the 30, the 29. Looks like a Wayzata offensive lineman. Evan McCarty went back to recover it, but it's all the way back inside the 30, and a Wayzata player is down. That's a quarterback, Shope.
Yeah, Shope took a hit there on the throw. They run play action, which is what they wanted to do in this set. And he stepped up and made the throw, took the hit afterward. But then this fumble hits, and all bets are off once that happens. Players go flying. People start hitting.
Ball gets kicked.
I mean, it looked like a couple of times Anoka was going to get it, but credit McCarty. He dives back on it. And with 1:43, Shope will come off. Birkland will come back on. And, man, that's kind of an odd sequence here.
It was.
I guess anything can happen in the Pumpkin Bowl.
That ball was bouncing like a pumpkin. Second down and 20. Ball back just inside the 30-yard line here for Wayzata. So that puts a little wrench in the plans for them, trying to move the ball downfield. Big loss on that play. Let's see what they do here. No timeouts, clock running, nearing 90 seconds left in the first half.
You had Shope out there for a reason. Now you shift things, but now you're 2nd and 20. Behind the chains is not what you want to be in this offense.
Birkland will pass, shows the ball, flings it far side. Lay is top target. Flag comes down as Lay was being tackled. We'll see if there was another face mask in there.
They got Knapp on the first face mask earlier. Did they get him again? We'll have to wait and see.
Number 20, David Ellis, was over there for the Tornadoes. He was near the tackle.
We'll see what the ref calls.
Yeah, we'll wait for the calls. He opens his mic.
We got a personal foul. Face mask. Number 20 of the defense. 15
That's on
yards.
Ellis.
So Wayzata will get that yardage, almost all of it back. Plus, they'll only be 3 yards shy of the first down.
Well, I'll tell you what, some really bad penalties by the Tornado. Yeah, there it is. That's a clear one.
Yep.
Some really bad penalties in this first half by Anoka. We've had a holding. We've had some face mask penalties, some false starts. Not good.
15-yard penalty, second down and 3. Wong on the ground, maybe 1.
And I still don't love that personal fouls aren't automatic first downs. I just don't get it. Now 15 yards is 15 yards, but it takes 2nd and 20 to still, now they have to still get a first down at 3rd down and 2.
Third down, play action. Birkland throws far side flat through the hands of the intended receiver and incomplete, looking for Jackson Brown.
And now it's 4th down and 2. And you don't want the moral of the story to be, you can grab the face mask if you want. It's just one of those things, but still it's 4th and 2.
I agree with you because that automatic first down is supposed to be a little bit more of a deterrent.
Correct.
4th down, 2. That means if you have a play and a guy's got a clear first down, you can grab his face mask and get.
There's no way they go for this, but they are, and they're giving a lot of room on the inside here for a pass, and they keep it.
Keeper Birkland inside Anoka territory, inside the 45 to the 44-yard line. He gains 8, and Wayzata with a conversion. That'll stop the clock here to move the chains.
That was Shope, actually, who was back on the field on that one, too.
Yeah, Shope back out there, number 14. He got 14 and 15. Shope takes the snap. Good to see him back in there. He's going to throw it to the near side, and it's incomplete. And we're going to get a penalty here on Anoka.
Late hit.
Late hit here. Devin Lucas, the defensive back, laid out lay.
And that's a hit on the defenseless receiver. The fans don't like it. The coaches don't like it, but that's the call. And he had a full step right there. And it's not to say that Devin was trying to make a play like a
personal foul. Late hit
on
the defense.
I mean, there was clearly 1 or 2 steps before that hit came. And you got to watch the defenseless receiver stuff and take another look. You can see it. Ball's out 1-2, and there's the hit. Now, again, bang, bang in real time, so that's tough. But that is the call in that spot.
So Wayzata helped out with another 15-yard personal foul penalty. Shope to pass, good protection, near side, and dropped. Lay had it looked like, but he bobbled it, and then it was jarred loose by the Anoka defense. Coming up with the ball was Parker Seaman. But an incomplete pass, 21.6 remaining here.
And I think Lucas had the hit on that play, too. So a good play by Lucas to try to bounce back.
2nd and 10. 29-yard line. Wayzata with 21.6 left. Let's see if they can take a shot deep. Nope, they're going to swing it around over to Jackson Brown out on the flat. Tries to cut up the field.
I don't get that call. That's a concession to the half play right there because you don't have timeouts.
And the clock is running. Did not get out of bounds. 4-3 they do, and then they'll spike it. So Shope will spike it. 1.2 left on the clock and a chance to take one shot here at the end zone.
You're pretty easy to defend in this spot, in all fairness. When you have to take this shot, it's kind of a Hail Mary. You can line the defense back towards the goal line and just knock it down. I didn't understand why we would want to stay in bounds there. If you want to throw the little quick hit pass, that's fine, but you got to get out of bounds. You don't have timeouts in this spot.
One more play of the half. Shope to pass, pressured. Throws it towards the end zone, and it's going to be incomplete. He was trying to target Sam Boo, but it ends up incomplete. He got the ball to him, and he was open there for a moment. But it falls incomplete, and after a lot of scoring early, Anoka scored on their first 2 possessions. Wayzata scored on their first possession. It was a little bit more of a bend but not break scenario the rest of the half, Tim.
Defense tightened up on both sides, made some big stops. Anoka's got to tighten up on penalties. Way too many mistakes in the first half. They had chances to have a 21-7 lead. Didn't quite work itself out. They got to try to clean some things up for half number 2.
Halftime of the Pumpkin Bowl. Anoka 14, Wayzata 7 here from Goodrich Field on QCTV Sports.
Just off of Highway 10 in Ramsey is the city's #1 spot for authentic Mexican cuisine. After starting as a food truck, Burrito's Tacos grew to be known as one of the most popular street taco trucks in the area. And now for the last year, Burrito has been serving up the residents of Ramsey from their new sit-down restaurant off of Sunfish Avenue.
When I make my food truck, a couple of friends, they tell me, hey, where we can find a Mexican food, maybe different kind of tacos, authentic tacos. The tacos we make over here is a fresh meat. We cook every morning. The processes to make the food is a little longer. For example, the barbacoa, this is the meat we sell more popular, between 2 hours to 3 hours to cook. When they first time they see my tacos, #1 is the cilantro on lime radish, like traditional style Mexican tacos. Some people they surprised because they see very simple tacos, but when they try, wow, they are so excited to eat it.
Of course, the biggest challenge facing the business today is the construction of the new bridge on Sunfish Avenue, making accessibility difficult for customers. But Burrito remains optimistic for the future and appreciates the construction workers who have become regular customers throughout their workday.
When I rented this place, I know because the new bridge is coming, and I know sometimes it's very difficult to the people that coming over here. But I see a lot of workers for the construction. They work so hard to make the progress to be finished this year. The workers, they coming over here to eat in the morning. They try to support this business too, you know. And it's so nice for this guy. And I know the business is coming a little down, but we can handle.
For the time being, access to Burritos Tacos and other businesses off of Sunfish and Highway 10 is limited to a U-turn heading north on the highway just past Sunfish Avenue. Keep up with all Highway 10 updates on MDOT's website and make sure to keep supporting small businesses like Burritos Tacos while construction continues.
I like to see people very often, and I like to talk to everyone when they come, because I see the faces when they live. And it's very nice, you know, because they try to do something so different. But thank you for everyone to come in to enjoy our food. This is what we do over here in Burritos Tacos.
Game Fair returned to the city of Ramsey in 2024 and was a great turnout. Hey, whether you're into fishing, hunting, or anything in between, Game Fair is the place to be. We spoke with some of the amazing vendors who were selling their excellent products, so be sure to come next year to score some great gear. But hey, the real star of Game Fair this year, the dogs. So many amazing dogs.
Drum roll, drum roll. Good job, drum roll.
Take Bingo for example, running through his obstacle course like a pro. But hey, let's pause Bingo for just a second for what I like to call the dogs of Game Fair. If you missed Game Fair this year, no sweat. Be sure to mark your calendars for next year when Game Fair returns to the city of Ramsey in 2025.
So tonight we're doing an open house. So every year we recruit new members, and so applications open August 1st for new members and it closes on October 1st. And so we are doing an informational session tonight so that people that are interested in the program can learn more about it. If people aren't able to make it tonight, this isn't their only opportunity. We will do other informational interviews where we will explain as well the program. But this is just a great opportunity here tonight to be able to hear what it's all about, what does it mean to be a Master Gardener, what does the commitment look like, and then after we have our open house, we're having our monthly meeting, which we have the fourth Thursday of every month, where we have a special guest, Julie Weisenhorn from the University of Minnesota Extension, who's going to be here to talk about foodscape. I love being a part of the Master Gardener program. I joined the program just because of my love of gardening. I wanted to be able to learn more about it. I wanted to be able to talk with other people and that share that love of gardening. And I wanted to be able to pass that on to other people, which is one of the huge benefits of the Master Gardener program. We volunteer and we use horticultural-based research and do projects that help create healthy communities, healthy people, and healthy planet. Yeah, there's something here for everyone, and for those that might want to do something a little bit more behind the scenes, we have a Facebook page where we do blogs and do plant of the week, and we need people to help write those. And so there's a lot of different ways to engage with the community and with the public. So for those that want to be front forward facing, there's great opportunities for them, and those that want to be a little bit more behind the scenes, there's a place for you as well. Anyone that has a passion for gardening and wants to give back and volunteer and is willing to follow the guidelines and the requirements set by the University of Minnesota. So we have people who are very well versed in everything gardening, but we have a lot of people who maybe they just love houseplants, maybe they just love vegetable gardening, maybe trees is their thing. That's okay. You don't have to know or be aware of everything. That's why we come here, we learn, and that's why we work as teams and we partner up, because where I might be really knowledgeable, somebody else might not, and vice versa. So don't be intimidated if you don't think you know very much. If you just have a love of gardening and want to learn, we would love to have you in our program.
My favorite thing about volunteering as an Extension Master Gardener is learning about the different gardening styles and sharing that knowledge with others. I love meeting and learning from people who care about educating, inspiring others through gardening. Whether you are a new or seasoned gardener, there's always something new to learn. In 2023, our Anoka County program will celebrate 40 years of teaching and working with residents. They learn to grow healthy plants and foods, improve local ecosystems, and create outdoor living spaces for people. I am one of over 150 Master Gardener volunteers living in this area, so one of our strengths is being familiar with the challenges other local gardeners face. Every May, the Master Gardeners host a plant sale fundraiser and sell plants grown and thriving in this region. The money we raise supports our community project and activities throughout the rest of the year. I am excited to see what positive changes we can make this year and the ripple effect it can create. Please visit the AnokaMasterGardeners.org to learn about upcoming Master Gardener events and services and how you can become a volunteer.
The United for Community event has been going on for over 10 years. This signature event, our backpack giveaway and back to school night, is really for everyone, and it's most especially for those who are getting ready to go back to school in the fall. And some of the kids that are living in this community and don't have all the help or supplies they need, we give them a little extra boost as well. We give people a chance to register for a free backpack and school supplies the month or two ahead of this event. But all are welcome to come. We've got kids and families coming in. We work with community partners to celebrate all the things that we're doing in the community, and also to connect people to services that might be helpful or useful for them throughout the school year. The Anoka County Library is here, the ACBC Food Shelf, and all kinds of other resources, including some of the other United for Community events we have happening throughout the year here at the church. The United for Community has been a concept or an idea that has been happening here at the United Methodist Church of Anoka for over 10 years. We are all about connecting in the community and with the community and with our partners. It used to be this back to school event. This was our United for the Community event. It is now a series of events throughout the year. We have a trunk or treat coming up next at the end of October, October 27th. We have a live nativity coming up after that in December. We have an egg extravaganza happening in the spring toward Easter. We have a huge egg hunt and lots of activities and games and food during that event. And then in the spring and summer, we have events for kids and families like our Vacation Bible School and other things that people can enjoy together, both outside and inside the building. The best way to get involved is to call the church office, 763-421-2378, or to go to the website at anokaumc.org. So that's anokaumc, like United Methodist Church.org. You can find out information throughout the year by giving a call or watching that website. We also have a Facebook presence and other places on social media. Watch the community pages. the community sign. We've got all kinds of things going on out in the community, so you just watch for those things and connect through those opportunities on Facebook, through the website, and by calling the church. We have worship services at 9:30 on Sunday mornings. We have opportunities for kids and for teenagers and for families and for individuals of all ages. So don't hesitate to get connected. Show up on a Wednesday and you're going to find a meal here. You don't have to pay for it. You're welcome to contribute if you'd like, but there will be a meal every Wednesday. This summer, we had movies every Wednesday. We had recreation nights, bags, games, volleyball, all kinds of other things. So please come on out anytime you'd like. We're going to be here for you, and this is everybody feels good because we all have a chance to work together, giving and receiving and being part of the community together.
So my name's Krista Gordhammer. This is the Artery Studio where you can come take stained glass classes start to finish or even pick up projects that are cut for you.
Just off of Highway 10 in Ramsey is the city's #1 spot for authentic Mexican cuisine. After starting as a food truck, Burritos Tacos grew to be known as one of the most popular street taco trucks in the area. And now for the last year, Burrito has been serving up the residents of Ramsey from their new sit-down restaurant off of Sunfish Avenue.
When I make my food truck, a couple of friends, they tell me, hey, where we can find a Mexican food, maybe different kind of tacos, authentic tacos. The tacos we make over here is a fresh meat. We cook every morning. The processes to make the food is a little longer. For example, the barbacoa, this is the meat we sell more popular, between 2 hours to 3 hours to cook. When they first time they see my tacos, #1 is the cilantro on lime radish, like traditional style Mexican tacos. Some people they surprised because they see very simple tacos, but when they try, wow, they are so excited to eat it.
Of course, the biggest challenge facing the business today is the construction of the new bridge on Sunfish Avenue, making accessibility difficult for customers. But Burrito remains optimistic for the future and appreciates the construction workers who have become regular customers throughout their workday.
When I rented this place, I know because the new bridge is coming, and I know sometimes it's very difficult to the people that coming over here. But I see a lot of workers for the construction. They work so hard to make the progress to be finished this year. The workers, they coming over here to eat in the morning. They try to support this business too, And it's so nice for this guy. And I know the business is coming a little down, but we can handle it.
For the time being, access to Burritos Tacos and other businesses off of Sunfish and Highway 10 is limited to a U-turn heading north on the highway just past Sunfish Avenue. Keep up with all Highway 10 updates on MDOT's website, and make sure to keep supporting small businesses like Burritos Tacos while construction continues.
I like to see people very often, and I like to talk to everyone when they come, because I see the faces when they live. And it's very nice, because they try to do something so different. But thank you for everyone to come in to enjoy our food. This is what we do over here in Burritos Tacos.
So my name's Krista Gordhammer. This is the Artery Studio where you can come take stained glass classes start to finish or even pick up projects that are cut for you and you can finish here. I also have mosaic classes and a friend who's teaching glass fusing classes.
You might have heard of the Artery Studio before when it was in Ramsey, but owner Krista decided to move locations to Anoka because she grew up in the area.
I used to be an art teacher, and during COVID it just stopped being fun. And I was telling my parents about how unhappy I was with my dream job not working out to be so fantastic. My dad told me I should come to this old office building where he used to have a space, and I should open up my own studio to teach classes there, so that's where the Artery was born. I get to do whatever I want every single day. I can't wait to get here every day and just get working on glass. The next thing we are doing is wrapping all of our pieces with copper foil tape, and most of us have opaque dark glass. So today I have a group making their own sun catchers. They got to design their projects, choose all their glass, cut the glass, grind the glass, and right now they're foiling, and in a few minutes we'll be soldering.
From beginner or experienced, the Artery Studio is a great spot to be.
Yeah, I try to make the process as easy as possible, which is kind of why most weeknights I'll have it cut out ahead of time, because cutting is really the hardest part. You'll end up breaking a lot of glass and getting frustrated and just throw your hands up and say, this is not for me. But I think today I had a little bit of practice glass cutting for people. They really got their feet wet with it and took off with it.
And every artist has a favorite piece they've made.
It's the rainbow quilt block in the corner. Yeah. I love color theory, so I have it all organized in the color wheel around a set of bevels that cast more color into the room.
So make sure you check out the Artery Studio in Anoka and make a memorable piece of art to brighten your day.
And back here at Goodrich Field, halftime. And it's the Anoka Tornadoes leading the Wayzata Trojans in this 74th playing of the Pumpkin Bowl. 14-7 Anoka. And, Tim, how did we get here?
We got here early through running the football with Zach Welch. Watch this play right there. Run a little sweep. Gets himself into the end zone. 7-0 Tornadoes marching down the field on that first possession. Give some credit to Wayzata. They came right back. Berkman fires this little dime to Tony Lay. Sets him up first and goal, where then Caden Wong is able to run it in one play later. Knock it in. Tied at 7. Pick it up now late. End of the first quarter leaves us inside the red zone. So early second quarter, it's another little toss sweep to Zach Welch. Breaks a tackle, breaks 2, and he's in the end zone. It's 14-7, and that's where we stand. We had some interesting opportunities for both teams as they were able to move the ball down the field, but some penalties and some turnovers and some mistakes end up being the difference.
We didn't see either team's punter in that first half either. There was no punting, so each time, the teams, each time they were able to get into a situation where they had to go for it on fourth down, they were deep enough into the other team's territory where punt at that point didn't suffice. So we haven't seen the punter yet. I just thought of that because the Wayzata punter was out here warming up, and I go, you know what? We haven't even seen a punt yet here today.
That's fair. There's the student section of the Tornadoes, no doubt with tasteful, appropriate chants, which is good. And there's our young future Tornado fans and football players. Everybody wearing the orange. I want to thank Tornado Alley for supplying me with my orange over here in the Anoka area. I had to go get some orange. I don't own a lot of orange, Jim.
No.
I don't hunt. I don't have that stuff in my closet.
Oh, you can get it now. A lot of people wear that high-vis color now.
Just randomly out in the neighborhood?
Yellow, yeah, when they're walking. So there's, it's high-vis, so high visibility.
Well, walking.
When you're out walking or you're working construction, back in the day, that wasn't even a thing. I don't even think you could buy a shirt, a fluorescent yellow or the bright orange type shirts, T-shirts and things now, other than for blaze orange for hunting. But now it's everywhere.
I guess
safety first, I guess.
I guess it is safety first, and maybe it is fashionable. Who knows? I noticed you're not wearing any, though.
No, I am not. I did not get the memo that I should be wearing some orange. I have one T-shirt I think that would fit. And, I do have an orange hoodie. I could have worn an orange hoodie.
Yeah, there you
it's
go.
An orange hoodie that supports a veterans group. I could have wore that here, but actually now I'm kind of wishing I did. I'd have it over my jacket that I have on right now because the temperature has dropped. It was 55. I'm getting 52 right now as a current temperature.
It
feels colder than that.
I agree.
Clear skies. Wind is kicked up at times. Right now it seems pretty calm.
I think you do have that old Tampa Bay Bucks Vinny Testaverde jersey, though, don't you, Jim, that you could break out? That's
Steve
orange
DeBerg.
enough.
It was Steve DeBerg.
Steve DeBerg, of course. Here's the Class 6A rankings heading into tonight. Maple Grove, obviously, number 1. Shakopee. What's interesting is Minnetonka's number 1 in the QRF, which is kind of interesting. But they're also rated 3rd at 6-1. That Shakopee team's dynamite. Edina 5-2, and they are rolling Hopkins. We heard that. They're the only other game going on this evening. Lakeville North at 6-1. Obviously, there's the Tornadoes, Eden Prairie, Blaine, and Forest Lake and Egan round out your top 10.
So Wayzata will get the ball to start the second half, and that's why the stop for them was so critical. And they did try to move the ball down with the help of some Anoka penalties there at the end of the first half. Maybe they could get a 2-for-1 there, score late, and then maybe get the ball back and score again here and take the lead to start the third quarter. But that won't be the case here. They'll try to march down the field and tie this game up. Ball resting at the 40-yard line. And I think a lot of the games being played on Thursday for Class 6A especially is because, their playoffs don't begin until next Friday. So they can move that. Plus the short number of officials. I think that helps with it as well when you spread them over multiple days.
Well, you had to get a Pumpkin Bowl played at night.
Well, I was going to say there's no way.
1 o'clock wouldn't fly. I mean, you can't do that.
Even if it would have been proposed or brought up, I don't think there's any way you can move this game to the Thursday afternoon. With it being Pumpkin Bowl 2024, here's the kickoff. Here comes Jackson Brown across the 20 and to the 26-yard line. The Anoka special teams coverage has been really good. And again, not much return there at all. Here for the Trojans, they'll have it 1st and 10, down by 7.
Yeah, they have bottled up Brown quite a bit on the special team side. Now, I think Jackson Brown's made some plays on the offensive side. They've been able to try to get him more involved as much as possible. But you're right, special teams for the Tornadoes has been really good.
Here come the Trojans in those white uniforms, metallic gold helmets. 1st and 10 out across their 25. Tight end in motion. Play action to Wong. Berkland's the quarterback. He started the game. He starts the half, and he completes that slant. Looks like it's going to be short of the first down to John Evans. Well, they're going to give him a pretty good spot out across the 36. That was going to be shy of the 36, but that'll be a gain of 10.5 and enough for a Wayzata first down. That's their 5th first down of the game.
And that play action, I think, is going to be there for Berkland, especially with how effective they were with that read option early in the game. They can run play action, put it in the hands of the running back, pull it back, and I think they're going to get those quick slants over the middle whenever they want.
Nice pickup, nice first down on the first play of the half here for the Wayzata Trojans. Berkland, the quarterback, this time on the ground to Wong, and he's got some room. And he's across the Wayzata 40 to the 43-yard line. Picks up 6, 2nd and 4.
You know, and this is a lot like what they had to deal with when they played against Centennial a few weeks back, Jim, where it's this option team, power on the ground. You need to have gap integrity. You need to know your assignments and not cheat. Because as soon as you cheat on the run, that's when they go over the top with the pass.
Anoka trying to end the regular season on a 4-game winning streak. They've won their last 3 games. Here's Wong. Breaks an arm tackle. Somebody had a grab of his jersey, able to break through there, close to another first down. Tackle by Anoka's Austin Meyer, but it's another Wayzata first down. They're grounding out the first downs here to start the second half.
And this is sort of what they did, though, against Centennial. The Tornadoes are going to have to bend but not break. If you can pin them down inside the 30, which is what they really did in that second quarter. Wayzata moved the ball. Where they had challenges is when they got into that red area.
Tight end Goger goes in motion. Play action to Wong. Berkland's got all kinds of time. Sidearms it to late. 35-30, near sideline. Gets upended by Hibbler, but not before a big pickup and a first down here for Wayzata.
That's all because the protection was really good on this play action. Look at all the time to sit there and wait for this to open up. And then finally a little breakaway by Tony Lay, and Parker Seaman was just late getting to that coverage. Leads to another big passing play for Wayzata.
27-yard gain, first down to the 25-yard line. And Wayzata threatening here, encroaching on that Anoka red zone. Quarterback that started the game here tonight, Matthew Berkland. They played both of their quarterbacks. Here is a handoff touchdown. What a play. And into the end zone is Kyle Boutwell, number 22. And then a flag comes down after the play. Might have something to do with the celebration in the end zone here. We'll sort this out. But as it sits right now, a 25-yard touchdown run by Boutwell.
Yeah, just arm tackles initially and then untouched the rest of the way once he got to the secondary. Let's hear the call.
We have it on sportsmanlike conduct on the offense.
Wow.
That penalty will be assessed on the kickoff. The result of the play is a touchdown.
So a post-play after the whistle penalty. So the play counts, touchdown counts. It looked like just a little trap play.
Yeah, Duchesne, they basically let Luke Duchesne through across the middle and then ran kind of away from him. And the block was well done by that offensive line of Wayzata. Oh, and that's going to be blocked.
Yeah, and the extra kick is no good. So the point after no good. Oscar Shope was the one doing the kicking there. And in high school football, you cannot return a kick, but now Anoka going to be called for a penalty. Flag was down. They're getting another chance to try it here. Maybe they'll go for 2 this time.
Oh, man, were they offsides? Or
half
did they
the distance
leap?
to the goal.
Man,
so
I'll
it's
tell you what.
14-13.
Personal foul, roughing the center on the defense. That penalty will be enforced
Roughing
half
the
the distance to the
center?
goal line. Retry the down.
So
yeah,
does that mean
snap,
they...
in the long snap scenario, you can't hit the center.
Yeah, and they kind of like bull charge him over the top. Man.
That was a rule change several years ago, so now they'll go for 2, half the distance to the goal.
The penalties are just killer right now.
Ball at the 1.5, and Wong will tunnel his way in, and that gives Wayzata the lead. The 2-point conversion is good. And it's 15-14 Wayzata all of a sudden. And what a drive for them. 15-14 the score.
Yeah, and now Anoka's going to get good field position for the next possession, but just way too many of these kinds of mistakes. Coach Bo doesn't love the call, wants to get an explanation, but I think it's, if that's the call, that's the call, and you just got to know what you're doing at the line of scrimmage there. Just way too many penalties in this game for the Tornadoes, and it's really starting to add up and hurt them. It's 15-14, and I think a lot of it has to do with penalties.
Anoka will get the ball back, trailing in this game for the first time. And we'll see how they respond. Wayzata responds here, came out with a great game plan. Nice offensive calls. They mixed it up. Certainly that touchdown run by Boutwell, who had not touched the ball all game long, comes in reserve running back, and he scoots for 25 yards and that touchdown.
So they're going to kick this off from their 25-yard line, and the kicks haven't been very deep anyway. So they're going to be moving up Hibbler and Abekwe to the 20 or the 30 here. They're going to be expecting really good field position. These are the dangerous ones where you watch for a potential kick return.
Nagash will be doing the kicking here for Wayzata. Again, the penalty was unsportsmanlike conduct in the end zone after that touchdown run. Pretty good kick, line drive, picked up Abekwe, 25-30, 35-40, picking his way to near midfield across the Anoka 45-47. And the Tornadoes will get it there. Great starting field position here. Let's see if they can take advantage.
Well, offensively, the same thing that we said about Wayzata, we could say for Anoka. Anoka's been able to move the football on offense pretty much whenever they've wanted to. Now the key is they got to be able to cash in on this possession. And it might just be who has the ball last tonight, Jim.
Yeah, it could be one of those nights, certainly. As Peyton Padani will lead his team out onto the field. Padani on the season coming into tonight, 1,285 yards passing, 14 touchdowns, 8 interceptions, 57.2% completion percentage.
And he looked good in the first half. I thought really did a nice job of getting everybody involved.
1st and 10. Swing pass here to the near side, caught. And Borchers will take it to about the 49-yard line. Just out on the flat, trying to get Trey Borchers a little space out there. Nicely covered overall by Wayzata. Gain of 3, 2nd and 7.
Yeah, Cooper Cleveland came over and put that first hit, blew up the block that was intended to give Borchers some room. And then once he did that, he was able to help collapse on the gang tackle.
Ball right at the 50. Here for Anoka center, Dustin Burton. Just a sophomore. Playing that spot here for the Tornadoes on 2nd down. Padani will give it here to Welch. Welch, tough to bring down. You are not going to bring Welch down with an arm tackle or trying to grab his jersey. That's what William Eisinger tried to do, the linebacker, and Welch burns him. And they pick up a nice pickup, 3rd down and short, 3rd and 2.
That's where they want to get to 3rd and manageable. I would expect that to happen again, and I think they maybe moved. Oh, they had a player go down to stop the clock.
Yeah, might just be a cramp because it looked like he was okay. Then all of a sudden he went down to
you wonder if that's one of the new college rules of hey, just fall down and slow the game down. And I think if that's the case, you don't love that. But hopefully it's you want to say it's legit. We'll see.
Let's hope that's all it is. That's Eisinger, the one who missed that tackle.
Because if he's those are always the one you're unsure about. Because if you're standing in your spot and then all of a sudden you just go down. And you can see Padani had kind of mentioned that to the official. It kind of went over because he was a little demonstrative about that. Now, again, I'm not questioning that at all. I would never do that. But those are the things that you start to see, especially with hurry-up offenses.
Well, he's up. He's moving somewhat gingerly, but moving pretty quickly.
Yeah, these aren't the cramping nights usually when they're this cold, right? I mean, usually you take a shot in those
I can
spots.
get a cramp at any time.
Yeah, that's true.
Winter, summer, spring, fall. I wake up and I'm running around the bedroom trying to loosen that thing up. Good thing I don't live in an apartment because the people downstairs would hate it.
They would call the super on you in a minute if that was the case.
So it's 3rd down and 2 here for Anoka. Padani, here's Welch quickly to the edge with a cut inside the 40, still going. And he's at the 33-yard line. Another nice run by Zach Welch. Tackled by Diane, but not before another Anoka first down.
Yeah, a little stutter step, a little stop and go there as he was able to turn the corner, and that allowed him to let a block happen in front of him. And when that happened, he was able to turn it back upfield and pick up maybe 5 to 7 extra yards.
Rush in there now. Welch getting a bit of a breather. Brody Lackinen in there also, the wide receiver. He'll be split far left here on the short side of the field along with Borchers. With again Padani, and Rush behind him out of that pistol, gets the final call from the sideline. He gives it to Rush into the line, maybe a couple, but then he runs into that stout interior Wayzata defense. Early in this game, Anoka kind of had their way with the front four of the Wayzata defense. Wayzata's turned that back the other way here with Aiden Fartacek there to make the tackle.
Yeah, and all the moves have been forced to go to the outside, where the Tornadoes have been able to make some headway is running Welch with sweeps and off tackles and getting him stuff like that. You're right, the up-the-middle stuff has not been there as readily since the early part of this game.
Gain of 2 on that play, 2nd down and 8. Welch back in here for Padani. Over 300 yards passing last week in the win over Osseo. 55 on the board. It's Welch. Nice hole on the right side. He's able to cut up the field in between the hash marks. As that hole was starting to close down, he was still able to get to the second level to the 25-yard line. Wayzata linebacker Kamarian Prohl there to make the tackle, 3rd and short.
And now we see Anoka moving to more of a power game right now. A little less passing, trying to keep it on the ground. And on these cold weather nights, your ability to pick up first downs on the ground is crucial. Tornadoes showing they have the ability to do that just like Wayzata.
3rd and a couple. Anoka trying to reclaim the lead here. Back and forth in this second half. Here's the jet sweep. He gets it to Borchers. Borchers high stepping and makes his way to the 20 for a first down. Picks up 5 and showing again Borcher that athletic ability, whether it's catching or running, he's a weapon.
Yeah, there was some people on the ground and some bodies to jump over, and Borchers does a nice job of kind of keeping the legs chopping and getting that first down. And again, being creative. How do you get a Beckway involved? How do you get Borchers involved? Well, you run some jet sweeps, you do some quick outs, and that's how you can keep this defense off balance.
First and 10, split wide right far side, Lackinen. And it's Padani, play action, steps across, it's caught, Borchers, touchdown! Borchers across the middle, finds the end zone, Anoka back into the end zone, 20-yard touchdown pass play, and they've reclaimed the lead.
You know, I didn't see that play develop right away because I thought Lackinen was wide open on the other side, and I thought that's where he was going to go. But instead he comes back towards the left, and he finds Borchers on the same route. They kind of crisscross each other. Borchers is wide open, and he takes it to the end zone, and that's a good answer by the Anoka Tornadoes.
The old swinging gate here for Anoka. Duchesne will set up as the halfback, quarterback, Wildcat, and he will give it to Welch for 2. Trying to match Wayzata's 2, and they do. He converts. Welch, 2nd, 3rd, maybe even 4th effort got him in, and that gets it to a 7-point advantage here for the Tornadoes.
There's the look at the touchdown. You can see a little play action from Padani. They had Lackinen on the high side, but they come underneath to Borchers, and all Borchers needs is a step. And this is a well-thrown ball by Peyton Padani, right on the money, and that's an easy end zone touchdown look for the Tornadoes. And again, you go run, 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 run. You need to mix it up. Play actions right there, and now you got the receivers open in space.
5:59 left, 3rd quarter. This game here long from being over here tonight.
Well, you keep waiting for the one team to make a stop and get up by 2 scores. That hasn't been able. Looked like Anoka was maybe going to do that, and that maybe would change the complexion of the game. But when Wayzata made that stop, that crucial 4th down stop, it just reversed that momentum back into their favor.
Well, we've got a good one. First time these two teams have played in the Pumpkin Bowl since 1960. If you missed the opening of the broadcast, that was an exciting 0-0, almost a soccer-like score, 0-0.
Had they invented the forward pass by at that point? I'm not sure.
No, I think they were still wearing leather helmets.
That's possible. No face mask. Did you ask your dad if they were wearing face
should
masks
have.
at that time?
I think they had some 1960, because, you know, they were wearing face masks in the NFL in 1960 and 61 and in the 50s.
So a lot of single bar.
Yeah, a lot of single bar. And here comes the return. Jackson Brown's been busy here tonight, struggles his way, gets to the 30, continuing to push and trying to get some extra yardage on the return. Wayzata will get the ball here, started out, first down and 10 from their 30-yard line. They have not had really good starting field position really all night with good coverage by the Anoka special teams. First and 10 at the 30.
This is probably the best starting field position they've had for a good chunk of this game to be right here. And you loved what Wayzata did in their first possession coming out of halftime. They marched down the field. They mixed it up. They did some play action. Birkeland is a comfortable passer as that sidearm thrower, but I'll tell you, it's effective.
Birkeland in there at quarterback. Wong is the running back behind him, offset pistol. Goger is the tight end in motion, and with all that motion going on, they may have just flagged him for that.
Maybe a little shift here.
False start.
Yeah.
Offense number 5. 5-yard penalty. Replay first down.
Sambu. They've kept him pretty quiet at wide receiver tonight. That's usually a target. Boo this time jumps, and the wide receiver jumping. I mean, there's just no excuse for that. Right there, you see it at the top of the screen. And you just can't. That's no Gouda, man.
First down, 15. 5-yard loss on the penalty. Birkeland off of play action. Good protection. Now it's breaking down. Throws it here. Near side. It's caught. Over the shoulder. Sam Boo cuts it back in the middle. 20, 10, 5. Touchdown. 75 yards. You were just, I think you jinxed it. You said they had shut down Boo, and then Birkeland goes to Boo. You and me and a dog named Boo, and he is in the end zone. Touchdown, Wayzata.
You know, maybe that was the false start on the previous plays. He knew he was going to get a look on the outside, and there he got one. Beautiful throw again. And they have made big plays in the passing game, have the Trojans tonight. And that's not usually their calling card, but they're getting what they want through the air, and that is a brilliant play and great speed from Sam Boo. You make up for a false start by running down the field and making a big touchdown from 75 yards.
And wonderful pass by Birkeland. He dropped it in there perfectly over the shoulder, and then Boo did all the rest. 75 yards. And the Trojans will go for 2 out of that power formation. They'll give it to the man who scored the touchdown, Boutwell, and he's in. 2-point conversion for Boutwell. And the back and forth, up and down roller coaster seesaw. The second half continues. Wayzata's back on top, 23-22.
Two things of note right here. A guy named Boo on the Pumpkin Bowl gets a touchdown. We had to know that was coming.
Exactly.
We had to know we were going to get that. Secondly, I just saw after that last play them helping Austin Meyer off the field, and he was hobbling, not putting any weight on that leg, and that's a concern because you like him at that corner position. So you hope it's nothing super serious and he can get back out there because he's a big part of what they do, and you hope he's all right. And Coach Bo, in one of his usual positions on a football game, yelling at an official. It's out there. I mean, Coach will not be shortchanged on pleading his case to an official. He will get his if he needs it.
The thing about that is, I mean, you want to get it, and you're hoping that helps the calls later in the game because most coaches realize that discussion there is not going to result in any kind of a change of what has already happened.
Right.
Hoping that it will, help him down the road here, and maybe, if that situation happens again, that whatever the coach is talking about there, that it'll go in their favor.
Yeah, I hope it buys you a flag in the fourth quarter, something like that. Maybe to have them keep their eye on something if you can.
Here's the kickoff. Another line drive kick, and it is caught in the air here by Brody Rush. Comes all the way across the field to the near side, and fights his way to get to the 30. I think he'll be out of bounds shy of the 30-yard line at about the 29.
So Rush ran 30 yards to get 10.
Yes.
That's pretty good.
Not the most efficient path, but he got some running in. And we'll probably see him in a couple of plays here. They've used him a lot here to spell Zach Welch during the ball game here tonight. First down and 10, just shy of the 30 here for Peyton Pedani. And Anoka back with the ball, finds themselves back down by 1. Welch in the backfield, 2 receivers right, 2 left, and another whistle.
Jumped, but is it the offense that made them jump? That's the question. We saw 2 Trojans get across the line.
72 offense.
Yep.
5-yard penalty, still first down.
And these procedure penalties, that's like the 3rd or 4th procedure penalty on the Tornadoes. You just can't have it. Right there, yep, good call. Once again, just jumping early. Got to clean those things up.
That'll be a 5-yard penalty, first down.
What do they have? Probably almost 100 yards in penalties here?
Yeah, I'm not keeping track, but they had back-to-back 15s. That's 30 right there at the end of the first half. 1st and 15. Pedani scrambling across the middle. Intercepted. It's picked off. It was overthrown. Cooper Cleveland comes up with it. And Wayzata, already up by 1, will have the ball at the Anoka 43.
That ball was 3 seconds late from Peyton Pedani. He had a Beckway on a slant, but I think he either saw pressure or had to move, and as he held on to the ball, it comes out late. It's over the head of a Beckway by 10 yards. A Beckway cut off his route and came back for it, but I think if that ball's out on time, it's a slant to a Beckway over the middle, and he has a chance to go upfield.
That fires up the Wayzata sideline here. 5:21 remaining, third quarter. Still a lot of time in this one. But now here's that chance for Wayzata. Each team wanting to extend the lead here and haven't been able to do so. Here's a chance for Wayzata. Berkland swings it out on the far side. That is caught by the tight end, Goger. And he's shy of the first down, but still not a bad play on first down. Little toss to the tight end. Gains about 8.
That play action's working. That play action is absolutely working on the Tornadoes defense, and they need to make an adjustment here because, again, every time they run in that play action situation, they've got a guy open every single time.
Gain of 6 officially on that first down play. 2nd down and 4. Boutwell, the lone back, number 22 there, helps in pass protection. Berkland running for his life, scrambling, throwing, knocked away. And incomplete. Ellis with nice coverage there on the intended receiver for Wayzata's. John Evans was the man that Berkland was trying to get to, but he was running for his life.
Yeah, Javen Starks, who's really quick, able to get some penetration into the backfield, and he almost ran down Berkland.
3rd and 4. Clock stopped with the incomplete pass.
Fun game, I'll tell you.
Yes.
A lot of stuff going on in this one. It's going to be a fun one to the finish.
Last year's Pumpkin Bowl was 35-15 Centennial. Berkland, toss out on that far side. It is caught. And a chance for more yardage. Breaking a tackle, Sam Boo had the long 75-yard touchdown pass reception. Breaks a tackle there, gets extra yardage, down to the 21, first down Wayzata.
And now Sam Boo's starting to become a factor in the offense. And again, it's play action in a crucial spot and a crucial down. Wyatt Rothram not able to bring him down on that initial tackle, and that allows Boo to pick up 10 extra yards.
Wayzata trying to finish the regular season at 500 at 4-4, entering the playoffs. Coming up next week, a week from Friday. First down and 10. Berkland play action. Pass over here to Lay. Lay inside the 15. Got spun around. Breaks a tackle. He's still going. He's inside the 10. Zigzags his way. Sidesteps a tackler. And he's inside the 10 to about the 7. That's another first down and a gain of 13 here for Wayzata.
Boy, credit Lambert Brown, the head coach, and Wayzata and what they're doing offensively. They have seen something in the passing game, and they say, you know what? They're biting on play action, and we're getting looks. Let's just continue to run that until they figure it out.
And Berkland's distributing the ball.
That's a great point. He's finding all kinds of guys.
So first down and goal from the 7. Wong, the lone running back. It'll be Birkland. Swings it out left side. That's Lay. Makes a cut towards the end zone. Getting a little push there from a teammate, Evans, and he breaks the plane. Touchdown. Wayzata in the end zone. Touchdown. 7-yard little swing pass. And Lay is into the end zone. Touchdown, and it's 29-22.
All you want in that kind of play is to run a little game on the outside where you have more numbers than they do, and they turn that into basically a 3-on-2. You get the two blocking receivers in front that take out the corner and the safety, and that just leaves one-on-one or one-on-none for a minute there for the wide receiver Lay, and he was able to just pound his way into the end zone.
Nagash in for the point after, and it is up, and that one is good. The backup quarterback, Oscar Schopp, on the hold. 30-22, that lead is back at 8. It's never been at 8. First time that it's been to 8. It is still just a one-score lead.
You know, it's kind of interesting. I'm a little surprised they didn't go for 2. Because if you go for 2, you're up 9. That's 2 possessions. And if you don't get it, you're up 7. It's just a standard touchdown lead at that point. And you put the pressure on Anoka to go for 2 to take the lead. I'm usually okay with kicking the extra point and taking those points. But in that moment, I would have at least considered, like, hey, I got to assume Anoka's going to keep scoring. I might want to stay out in front as much as I can.
It all depends when it comes to going for 2, I think, the card. The coaches have the card.
That's what they always say, right?
And I haven't memorized the card.
The
I don't have
says
a card.
We go for it here.
I don't even know if I'm eligible to own a card.
Yeah,
the go for 2 card.
I want to know what the card is exactly.
Right.
I mean,
I think it's a secret society.
It really is.
You have to be a member of a secret society
you have
to
to
own that card. You have to have a card to get the card.
You have to have a card to get the card. You feel like Madden had this discussion at some point.
Exactly.
Don't you feel?
But he mixed in a couple of booms and whaps, and there's some sound effects, and probably mentioned Brett Favre a few times.
Had
also
to wake up Pat Summerall at one point, I'm sure, as well. Just kidding, I love Pat. So.
Well, it was right after the Murder, She Wrote promo. 30-22, his little squib kick, and it'll be picked up there by Hibbler. He'll zigzag his way far sideline up to about the 39. Hibbler doing a nice job getting some positive yardage there on the return. Gives Anoka decent starting field position here. Down by 8, 30-22. That's the first time in this game that we had a team score back-to-back touchdowns. That's back-to-back. Wayzata scored to make it 23-20, and here they get it to make it 30-22.
Well, we had our first big turnover that changed the field position as well, and that was a big part of this. Padani throwing his 9th pick of the year, along with his 15th touchdown in this quarter. But they're going to want him to dial back in, and I think just go back to work on the ground here. Try to establish yourself running the football, get a few first downs, and see if you can go. You're not out of this game at all.
First down and 10. Anoka on the ground on first down. And this Wayzata defense right now is fired up. Their team has given them an 8-point lead, and there was nowhere for Welch to go. No gain on the play, 2nd and 10.
Will Malecha and Kamarian Prowell really putting some pressure on again up front. And I really believe the battle in the trenches, all in all, I think you got to give the edge to Wayzata. I think Wayzata the defensive front of Wayzata is winning the battle at the line pretty consistently.
One of those key guys in there is Prohl, as you mentioned, made the tackle on that one, making it tough up the middle. 2nd down and 10. Padani, Welch, this time off tackle, and he's out to about the 43. It's a gain of 3, but it brings up 3rd and 7.
That seems to be where the room is, though, as Ty Dingman made that stop along with, I believe, Caden Carson. But that seems to be where the spots are, the soft spots are to run are on these off-tackle plays and on these sweeps. You'll see if the Tornadoes stay with that.
We'll give them 4 on that. It's officially 3rd and 6. Padani, one-step drop out of the snap, and he throws it to a Beckway. Caught, and forward progress will get him the first down. Gain of 7. Beckway got to the marker, sat down, was there for the catch. First down, Anoka.
And the best part about it is the ball was in his hands when he turned around. The ball's out on time. Like those little quick outs, because a Beckway can break one.
Hurry up offense here for Anoka. Quickly to Welch. And he armbar tackle there by Wayzata's Landon Reeves. First down pickup of 3.
Yeah, it looked like a Ricky the Dragon Steamboat arm drag right there on Welch to take him down as Welch goes head over heels. That's a wrestling reference. I don't know if you knew.
Oh, yeah, Ricky the Dragon. I'm very familiar with Ricky the Dragon Steamboat.
Sometimes you got to explain it. You don't know it. Not everybody knows.
WrestleMania 3 against the Macho Man. One of the greatest.
I'm glad we agree.
One of the greatest matches ever at the Silverdome.
I knew you and I were kindred spirits.
Yes, 2nd down and 7. Master of the reverse knife edge.
Oh, you kidding
It'll bring
me?
up 3rd down.
Don't even get me started.
On the run here.
So that brings you up, again, you try up the middle, and it's not there. So now you're down to a 3rd and 7, 3rd and long situation. Do you do another quick out, try to get the ball back to a Beckway? Or do you want to try to treat this as 4-down territory, maybe run Welch off tackle again?
They lost a little bit there. It will make it 3rd and 8. Badani and Wayzata territory. Welch, the back behind him, gets the final signal, ready to work. Badani steps up in the pocket, being pressured, spun, he's going to go down. It'll be a sack. He's just got back to the original line of scrimmage. And the Wayzata defense comes up, brings up 4th and long.
And I think they will probably have to punt this. I know that that's not what they'd love to do in this spot, but when you're 4th and 8 and they're kind of eating you up on the line, you punt it away, you try to pin them and change the field position.
Kellen Brewer is the punter. The junior will stand at his own 35-yard line. And back deep, Cooper Cleveland. Snap, low snap, off his face mask, and he's going to get it off.
Wow.
Great job by Cleveland. And Wayzata gets away from it. It takes a slight Anoka bounce. And down to the 22. And we have a flag back here at the 36. I think they're getting like a crackback block or something here, a blindside block on an Anoka player. Aaron Knapp went down onto the turf, and then the flag flew from that.
Yeah, and I don't understand. I mean, that ball's just rolling on the – what are you doing? I don't get
Personal
that at all.
Illegal blindside block.
Yeah.
32 on the receiving team. That'll be a 15-yard penalty.
Yeah, I don't understand. I just don't understand the logic of that. I mean, you see that the ball's loose. Everybody's like, run, 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 go away, go away. And it's like, no, I'm going to take this opportunity to make a big hit. And I just don't understand that.
Unnecessary.
It's so far away from the play, and it's just something you don't need to do.
And thus the officials called it. So it'll be a penalty here against Wayzata. 15-yard personal foul. That'll march them all the way back to the 11-yard line.
This is where understanding the game is really important, too. It's like, we got a lead. We've got the lead. We've got the momentum. Everything's on our side. Why pin us back at the 11-yard line? Just doesn't make a ton of sense.
So Wayzata with the 8-point lead. 12 seconds left, 3rd quarter. Birkeland has played the majority of the game at quarterback, and they'll go on the ground here on the 1st down play. And a carry by Wong. Pickup of a couple of yards, and what'll be the final play of the 3rd quarter. We move to the 4th. Wayzata has the lead, but they're starting deep in their own territory. 4th quarter, the Pumpkin Bowl, coming up when we return here on QCTV Sports. Goodrich Field, the Pumpkin Bowl here tonight. Halloween season in the Halloween capital of America. Anoka moving to the 4th quarter here, 30-22 in this regular season finale. Wayzata with the ball, with the lead. 2nd down, 7. Birkeland to throw, chucks it deep, down the middle, he's got Boo! Right on the money! He's down to the Anoka 25 and to the 22-yard line.
Boy, you got to have safety help there over the top if you're Anoka. Sambu is just faster than the corners, and he was off like a rocket. He was 3 yards deep of the secondary, and all you got to do is throw a dime here, and Birkeland does just that out in front of Wyatt Rothram, and no safety to be found. You got to have help over the top on that play, and they got burned deep for a second time.
64-yard gain, first down 10. Boutwell right up the gut. And that's to about the 18-yard line here on the first down carry.
And another flag coming in here on this one, and we'll see who they get this one on, if this is on Wayzata.
Holding. Offense number 71. 10-yard penalty. Replay the down.
Well, both teams have had penalties called against them at inopportune times tonight.
Yeah, this is not a great penalty to take on after you've made the big play, you flip the field, and now you're going to be playing 1st and 20. It's a tough spot. This is a critical stop. I think this is the game for Anoka. I mean, you have an offense that can score quickly, but you do not want to fall down, 2 touchdowns and 2 two-point conversions. You just don't want to be looking for all these variables. This is critical for the defense to buckle down right here.
Momentum clearly in Wayzata's side. Birkeland to pass, steps up. Now he's going to scramble, and he slides through the pressure and was wrapped up a couple of times. Now will be dropped. They'll give him forward progress to the 31-yard line. Picked up 2. But could have been a lot worse for him. He was dead to rights, it appeared, in the backfield. Was able to slip his way through there.
He broke a bunch of tackles. Finally, Ethan Mossman just grabbed the shoulder and just said, hey, I'm hanging on here until we can get some help to tackle. Birkeland has been really good. I've really enjoyed watching him tonight. He has had a very efficient night through the air and just seems to make a lot of plays.
We mentioned Oscar Shope played a series or 2 as well. 2nd down and 19, but it's been Birkeland most of the way. Wong in the backfield with him. He'll keep it off of that option, that lead option, and he's inside the 25, the 24. Not yet back to the original line of scrimmage. 3rd and 11 now here for Wayzata.
Critical down for the Tornadoes. But I will say, when you're effective through the air, now that option becomes even more dangerous at this stage in the game because you have to respect the pass. And that allows a player like Birkeland or Wong or Boutwell, whoever's out there at the time, to have lanes.
3rd and 11. Birkeland's a junior, Shope, the other quarterback, a senior. They've been a quarterback tandem here this season for Wayzata. Birkeland faced with a 3rd down. Play action to Wong. He's going to step up. He's got room. He's going to throw. Far side, it is caught. 1st down about the 10-yard line. Jackson Brown comes up again. And Tim, he's not running on empty. That's a 1st down. And a nice pickup here for Wayzata.
Yeah, he, again, they find him in this spot, and that's a credit to Birkeland. Again, he's not zeroing in on any one target. He's gone to Boo, he goes to Lay, and now here he finds Brown, spreading the ball all over the field, and they have been prolific through the air here tonight.
Last week, it was Badani doing that for Anoka. He hit 7 different receivers in the win over Osseo. 1st and goal, just inside the 10. He played it to Boutwell, pulls it out. He'll run it himself, and a flag did go down in the backfield. That was a weird kind of play. I know it was one of those option plays where he was faking it to Boutwell, but then the flag comes down. We'll sort it out here.
Assuming we'll get a hold, yep.
Offense number 77. 10-yard penalty from the previous spot. Replay 1st down.
Yeah, you don't know if that was a miscommunication or something, but yeah, it looked like weird from the jump, and that's an easy call right there, as it was a pretty obvious hold on the outside by Briggs Opp.
I think that was going to be that lead option with Boutwell, the running back, but I think he was on the wrong side of where the quarterback, Birkeland, thought he was going to be. because he kind of paused there. Oh, there's nobody here. I just got to try and do something with it. They got called for holding anyway. So now it's 1st and goal back to about the 20. Birkeland to throw, sidearm sling out in front. And that gets tipped up into the air and incomplete. A lot of bodies in the vicinity there. He wanted to go to Tony Lay.
It's a little harder to throw at this spot in the field, especially when you're not known for your passing. But that time they were trying to hit Lay on a little slant, but credit Baki that time, who gets in front of the route. And a stop here would be critical for the Tornadoes. A turnover would be incredible.
Which we've only had one of those tonight.
True.
That's the interception thrown by Anoka.
And it led to 7 points. Points off turnovers. 7-0 could be the difference in the game.
2nd and goal. Ball just inside the 20 here for Birkeland. Play action to Boutwell. He'll throw again, and that's picked off. Intercepted by the Tornadoes. Out across Mossman. 30 near sideline. 40, 50. Still going down to the Wayzata 41-yard line on that pass play, and Mossman picks it off and takes it all the way into Wayzata territory. And a turning of the tails here in the 4th quarter now here. Anoka's got it back.
They'll get the turnover, but they'll get holding on Zach Welch after the turnover. As they're running backwards, Welch clearly holds. And when you do that, you're going to pin him back.
Return, holding on the return team. 10-yard penalty from that spot.
So they'll start at the 31. It's not the worst thing in the world for the Tornadoes because the turnover still counts. And this is what happens when you do become a bit predictable. On 2nd and 19, you feel like you have to throw, and so the Tornadoes could stay back in pass coverage, and that time they sat in kind of a zone, and a sailed ball left Mossman with room to run.
Ends up being a 24-yard penalty because they were going to start it at the Wayzata 41, but still they turn Wayzata back with 8.5 left. Down by 8, the Tornadoes have the ball. Both teams have thrown an interception now in the game tonight, with Peyton Pedani taking his offense back out on the field with Zach Welch behind him. 4 receivers, 2 left, 1 and 2 right here, bottom part of your screen. Pedani to throw. He's going to go deep. He's looking for Borchers. He's got him on the money. 20, 15, race for the end zone. Touchdown! 65 yards. Pedani to Borchers. Are there any flags down? There are no flags. And the Tornadoes 2 points away from tying it up.
Peyton Pedani says, I can throw dimes too. He goes down the field, throws a perfect ball to Trey Borchers, who runs a beautiful route. Leads to an open, easy touchdown, and that's what you do after a turnover. You go big. Love the aggressive play call from Coach Bo Wasserich. They convert it, and now they got a chance to tie this game 30-30. But they got to get this 2-point conversion.
They will go for a 2-point conversion from the 3-yard line. Traditional offensive set here, not with the swinging gate, which they used to convert a 2-point conversion earlier. It'll be Pedani taking the snap, rolling to the near side of the field towards the end zone, overthrown and incomplete. Wayzata had that well covered, and it will stay a 2-point Wayzata lead.
Ball comes out late. I think the fans want some kind of late flag. Didn't get a late flag call, and you can see Afia Beckway is still lobbying to the official.
There you see the Borchers. Borchers showed some speed there. He ran away from the defensive back. And like I said, Pedani put it up in a spot where Borchers could go get it. And that's exactly what Trey did on that 65-yard touchdown pass play.
I think Coach Bo is talking like they wanted a taunting penalty or something after the play. They're not, another play that they're not thrilled about something, but either way, you're right. That play was well scouted out. They read that the entire way. And again, that ball has got to come out quick on those rollouts. And when you take that option away from Pedani, he's forced to hold on to it and hope something else opens. When that doesn't happen, the play breaks down and you have to throw the ball away.
Tornadoes have cut it to 2. Wayzata was called for an unsportsmanlike conduct penalty in the end zone after they had scored their first touchdown early in the game.
I'll tell you what, I don't think either coach is either going to love the official crew at the end of the game, but they really shouldn't love the execution of their teams. I think there's been a lot of penalties that have been called correctly here tonight. then these teams have made a ton of mistakes, and mistakes that have cost them. Wayzata's holding penalty that forces them back to 1st and 20, forces an interception. You got to clean things up if you're trying to win big football games late in the year.
Daniel Komich ready to kick this one away from his 40. And he angles it to the near side. Brown is over there, and he lets it bounce. It hits the sideline and goes out of bounds. So kick out of bounds. That'll move that ball up to the 35-yard line for Wayzata. 8:20 left to go is where they'll start out here.
They always can choose to have a re-kick on this,
too. They could choose that, yes.
Although I tend to not like to look a gift horse in the mouth, I guess, whatever that expression means. But I sort of like the good field position. If you can let me start at the 35, I'll do that.
Illegal procedure on the kick, kicking the ball out of bounds on the kicking team. Wayzata has elected to take the ball at the 35, first down.
I would say that the receiving team, is it, what do you think, 80% or is it 90%? Is it 9 out of 10 times they take the ball at the 35?
Yeah, and we've seen like Anoka have that work for them and against them, because a couple times this year they've opted for the re-kick, and sometimes that works out great.
Ball on the ground. Wong squaring up those shoulders, first down to the right side. And he picks up close to 9. And Wayzata up by 2. They would love to keep the ball on the ground here, work some clock, and move the chains a few times here. Clock running, under 8 minutes left.
And this might get back to who you are as a team. You're an option team. You power run. You've had a lot of success passing the ball tonight. But this might be time to start running the ball.
2nd down and a yard. They could elect to go up top here, too, on 2nd and short. Let's see what they do. Birkland. That's Goger, the tight end in motion, sets up here in the near wing. Wong, they'll keep with him on the ground. And he is tackled in the backfield. Deshane, the leading tackler. And that might be shy of the first down. Deshane came in with 44 solo tackles coming into the game tonight. He is a guy who can bring you down. Their leading tackler, looks like they're going to mark him. Yeah, it's shy of the first down, 3rd and short.
Yeah, 3rd and short. And they're keying on the run because they're playing single high safety. So they're trying to bring that extra guy up in the box and put the pressure on Wayzata to run right into the teeth of the defense. And they bring it again. Watch, they bring Mossman up.
3rd down here for Birkland to Wong, and he's going to get extra yardage. He was hit at the line of scrimmage, but was able to lean forward, keep those legs churning, and he gets across the 45 to the 46, and a big first down for Wayzata.
Well, Anoka met him in the backfield, but then credit Wong just running right through him.
1st and 10, Wayzata. See if they also start to work the game clock here and work that down to just a few seconds here. When you're in a close game like this, 4th quarter, every second can count.
Absolutely.
5 seconds left on the play clock here, 1st down and 10. They snap it with 2 seconds left, and they keep it with Wong again. More positive yardage, gain of 5 on 1st down. Making the tackle, the defensive lineman, Javen Starks.
Yeah, Starks comes out there. Welch is back in playing linebacker now, so these are the crucial times in the game. They obviously don't love to see him play both ways in these things if they don't have to, but when they need a big play at linebacker, they'll bring him out there for those things, and that's why he's out now.
Gain of 4, 2nd and 6. Only 2 down defensive linemen. Starks listed as a linebacker, but he plays like an upright defensive end for pressure from the outside. Edge rusher, 2nd down and 6. Birkland to throw deep, far side for Jackson Brown. Incomplete, overthrown. He had a couple of steps on the defensive back, incomplete.
And you got to live with that if you're Anoka right now, because you're trying to play against the run thinking, well, they're not going to play action me and go over the top. That time they did, and they did it on the right coverage because it's single coverage on the outside. It's man-to-man. You have single high safety. Your corners just have to win. That time it was an overthrown ball.
3rd and 6. 2-point game. Tornadoes trying to turn it into a treat and not a trick. And timeout Wayzata. All the way down, they let the play clock get to 1.
Timeout Wayzata.
So the Trojans will use a timeout, and by this time in the first half, they already used all their timeouts.
That's right.
So they got to feel really good that they had their full allotment here. They still have 2 remaining with 5:32 remaining in the fourth quarter, and a tight one here, a nail biter, 30-28.
It's a very tight game, and an interesting thing, when you do go for that pass play and you miss, though, Jim, you stop the clock. And so now you've preserved that extra 40 seconds for Anoka, and you sort of hamstring yourself here because you're 3rd and 6, 3rd and 7. Do you want to pass again? Because what happens if you incomplete that? Now the clock doesn't run, and you probably have to punt. But if you stay on the ground, you become a little more predictable. And even if you don't pick up the first down, you're probably punting again.
Ball almost at the exact center of the field. Inside of that void that forms that middle void of the A logo here for Anoka. 3rd and 6 for Birkeland.
Critical play right here, and they're going to have cover 2. They're playing for a pass.
3rd down. And there's that little lead option, and Wong keeps it. He gives it to Wong, and he stretches it out here to the near side. It's a first down, but there's a flag down right at the 50.
And I think you're going to get holding, and I think this is going to come back because that play did take forever to develop, and I think a lineman was holding.
Hold. Offense number 8.
Yep.
10-yard penalty from the previous. Replay 3rd down.
And the holding penalty killed them on the last drive where
Yes.
they threw the interception, Jim. And right here on 3rd and 6, right there is where you start to grab jerseys.
Yeah, that was Boutwell. Boutwell's the running back on that one, and that was Birkeland put that in his belly, and I don't know. I don't know if Boutwell wanted to give it up or not, or Birkeland wanted to pull it out.
Felt like he put it under his jersey
yeah.
and under his pads. But now it's a predictable defensive coverage. Now Coach Adam Deneke can send a blitz here. He can play coverage. He can kind of dictate the defense to Wayzata's offense and not the other way around. So this is a crucial play right here.
10-yard penalty on the hold. 3rd down and 16. Back to their own 40 now. Birkeland play action to Boutwell. Steps up. Near side. Caught. Lay went up and got it. And brought it down. Still shy of the first down, but now 4th down and 3. On that pass play and a deep out to Lay. And it'll be 4th down. Clock will be running here. 4:50 and counting.
Yeah, it puts you in a weird spot if you're Wayzata. My guess is you might run this down and punt. And I think I would probably do that. I will run this all the way down, maybe even take the delay of game, and I would punt.
8 seconds on the play clock. 5. They're not in any hurry here. Birkeland looking 1. And
late,
that was close. Birkeland's going to scramble on 4th down. He's not going to get it. It'll be tornado ball.
Boy.
So Anoka holds on 4th down.
I don't think Wayzata knew what they were going to do right there.
Yeah, I think they had one plan, and then people were on different pages, I think, on the Wayzata sideline on that one.
Different pages, maybe even different books, because there was no urgency in the offense at all, and it just made you think, well, there's no way they're snapping this ball. And then they snap it with 1 to go, but nobody looked set or ready. They were on their heels on the offensive line.
So an opportunity for the Tornadoes. All 3 timeouts. 1st down and 10 near midfield from their 47-yard line. Welch on the ground. Bounces it outside. Still going, and will get some yardage off that. Will pick up about 3. Goes out of bounds. Stops the clock at the 50-yard line with 4:12 remaining.
And time's really not a factor here. By not punting the ball, Jim, you give them the ball at the 50 with 3 timeouts. You can run your whole offense here. You don't have to be. You're not limited.
Like you said, a lot of time here. 4:12 with the 3 timeouts. And the ball at the 50-yard line for the Tornadoes. 2nd down and 7. Welch with Padani. Padani with the orange sleeves here tonight at Pumpkin Bowl. Right back to Welch again. They keep it on the ground. and battles his way. They're going to give him some forward progress to about the 46-yard line. Make it a 3rd and 3.
And I think right now, if you're Coach Bo, you're probably saying, I've got to win at the line of scrimmage. Let's power run here. Let's move the football with Zach Welch, my best player on the ground. But we just got to win at the line of scrimmage.
It's up to those big guys up front. Bennett Jorgensen, Dustin Burton, Andrew Kriz, Logan Burns, Mason Brent. 3rd and 3 Tornadoes. 4 down territory at this point, down by 2. Snap to Pedani, kind of low, play action. Now he'll pass. He looks far side, out on the flat, incomplete. And he was wide open, the tight end, Wyatt Buxton, just off the mark, 4th down.
Wow. I mean, he is wide open. There's 20 yards ahead of him. That's just got to be had by Wyatt Buxton, because it looked like it just went right through his hands.
It looked like, from here it looked like it was out of his reach. But then we watched the replay, and it was right there, kind of at his ear hole.
And you wonder if maybe he was looking upfield thinking, I'm going to start running before I have the ball, which does tend to happen sometimes. But it was a good play. I think it was the right call. Buxton's not a normal player in the offense. He's not somebody you worry about. But there he was, wide open. You got the setup you wanted.
Timeout, Anoka.
Now you got to make sure you get this one right, because it's 4th down. And you don't want to say it's the game, because you still have time here if you get stopped. But I think you really want this one. Because you want to score with no time left for Wayzata. You don't want to put your defense back out there and force them to try to get a stop, because Wayzata's moved the ball rather well.
First spent timeout here for Anoka. They'll have 2 remaining. Facing a 4th and 3.
Good football game. It's a good football game that both teams feel like they should win, and then the team that loses tonight is going to walk home going, man, we had it.
A lot of games being played tomorrow, especially in 6A. More 6A than the other sections and classes, because a lot of those classes, they start their playoffs on Tuesday. Some of those sections that have less than 8 teams, there are some teams that get buys right into Saturday. 4th and 3. Play of the game right now, 4th and 3. Tornadoes from the Wayzata 46. Pedani and Welch in the backfield. Abekwe, the lone wide receiver, top of your screen. 4th down. Pedani bobbles the ball, gives it to Welch, and it looks like he's got it. Very close. Let's see.
Very close.
Needed to get to the 43, and that's where both officials are going to come and meet and congregate at the middle. This will require a measurement.
If that's the spot, I think he's got it. If that's the spot.
Both teams are pointing in opposite directions.
I don't know if I love where their spot. It's close. I don't know if that's enough, though. It's all about where the tip of the football is.
Yes.
This is going to be very close. Where those sideline officials were coming in, they were right on the hash mark, but that ball looks like it's sitting just behind the hash mark. He might be a nose of the football short.
Here they pull out the chains, and they are measuring and pulling, extending the chain, and Wayzata's going to celebrate because they are short.
They are,
they are
short.
Chain
link short.
Yeah, they are short by 1/3 of a yard.
Let's take a look.
Wayzata holds. Let's see where he went down.
I think that's not a bad spot.
That's where the knee goes down in high school ball.
Yeah, I don't. Now that I mean, it's hard to tell. This angle won't tell us that. The previous one will, and I think the spot is probably okay, to be honest. And now I know Coach is exasperated, and it's just maybe not been their night. But I think that's close. It's a close call. There's no question about it.
So Wayzata holds by a few links in the chain. 1st down and 10 at their 43.5-yard line. If it had gotten to the 43, it would have been a 1st down. Birkeland will keep off the right side. And Anoka with 2 timeouts left. Clock running here with 3:07 remaining.
And there's no way you throw it here if you're Wayzata. Under no circumstances, I think, do you throw the football. You'll run here. Now, you're going to run it on second down, and Anoka will try to burn a timeout. But they're going to let them run this down.
2nd and 7. It's more like 2nd down and 7.5. We'll call it a long 7.
Going to run this all the way down to 0 and then snap it.
Berkland, snap. Wong runs it into the middle, spitting, looking for extra yardage, gains a couple. 3rd down. And the Tornadoes again will preserve their timeout here. They're going to let the clock run here.
I think they feel like, okay, if we stop them with 1:40 to go, we'll call the timeout on 4th down. They'll punt, and we'll have one in our pocket.
Yes.
With 90 seconds.
They'd love to have a timeout remaining to utilize on offense if needed.
So it's an interesting strategy, and obviously Wayzata is going to play with no urgency here. So you got to think if Anoka makes the stop on this down, they'll get it probably at their own 20-yard line with 90
Play
seconds.
clock at 2. Play clock almost at 0. They just did get it off. Berkland with a keeper. He's got a 1st down. And he slides beyond the marker, and then they hit him after he slid.
Yep.
That'll be a 15-yard personal foul here against Anoka.
Yep.
With 1:40. So that'll tack on after that play. Because he was the quarterback, he had given his body up, he was sliding, and then got hit.
Personal foul, unnecessary roughness, defense number 22.
Yeah, you hit him late, and that's going to do it.
And first down.
Unfortunately, that's now another late flag as we might get more stuff here. I'm assuming the Anoka players are maybe giving the referees some problems, and I'm telling you, if you're the Tornadoes, you got to play football, man. That's you can't. You're gonna have to start. You're gonna probably start throwing guys out, and Luke Deshane has got to knock that off. He's just got to.
One of the officials just threw his hat. That means he'd already used his flag.
When the refs have thrown their flag, you can't sit there and argue anymore. You have to just go back to the sidelines. I mean, I understand that maybe the game's effectively over anyway.
Unsportsmanlike conduct. 28. Anoka,
so it's 28.
Yards.
It's not. Deshane was actually trying to stick up. It's Aaron Knapp
Anoka,
who's called for the penalty.
Number 7.
Oh, now Deshane gets one too, so it's 2 of them.
So the first 15 for the
I mean,
unnecessary roughness, and the next 15 are run off. The third is half the distance to the goal line.
And the Anoka fans aren't happy about it, but I'm going to be honest with you. It's just it's really been an undisciplined football game by the Tornadoes tonight. And I feel bad. I mean, it's a tough one. You don't want to lose these games on, it's high intensity stuff. But you just gotta keep it together on the field. And clearly, the referees have either heard enough, seen enough, or a little bit of both. And they have decided that they're going to get control of this thing.
Yeah, the frustration's just kind of boiled over there, and that's where you got to keep your poise. But sometimes it's hard to do that in the heat of battle, isn't it? And it caught up here with the Tornadoes, and with all those tack-on penalties, those personal foul, unsportsmanlike conduct penalties that took place. The ball is all the way inside the 10. Ends up being 1st and goal here for Wayzata. Still 1:40 left. And Coach Rasurik again talking to the officials. He has looked exacerbated here tonight. It's too cold for me to say that. I can't.
Yeah, you're running out
articulate.
Of,
I can't articulate.
And you know, it's a game. It's a learning lesson for the Tornadoes here as well. You got to maintain. Look, you're going to have calls that don't go your way. That's going to happen in high school football. You got to roll with the punches a little bit better than what I've seen tonight. And you know, the Trojans certainly made some mistakes, let the Tornadoes back into the game, but I just think well over 100 yards in penalties tonight. You can't give up a football field and a half's worth of penalties and expect to win the football game. That just doesn't happen.
1st and goal, Wayzata. Berkland. Here is Berkland. Keeps. to the 8.
And they'll burn the timeout here probably, I would assume. Yep, they will.
So that Birkeland scramble that got him the first down was at the
Anoka.
41-yard line. And then they get inside the 10, so that's and some of those penalties, the last penalty was half the distance to the goal.
Yep. Take a look at the schedule coming up here on QCTV. Got a lot of stuff, playoff stuff happening right now. First of all, we got the Grand Day Parade too. Look at that. Next week, of course, next Saturday is the big Grand Day Parade in Anoka on Main Street, followed by the Anoka Ambassador Coronation. A lot of our young seniors at Anoka High School going to maybe accept the crowns.
Mini Pumpkin
Saturday.
Bowl. I didn't even know we had that. Is that something new?
It's 8th grade, apparently.
8th
I guess
grade.
it's new. Just added.
Just added. A mini Pumpkin Bowl for the 8th graders.
It's going to be student body left, student body right, student body center. There's not a lot of plays in the 8th grade playbook, I don't think.
I don't know. I've seen some 8th grades. They're running the spread. They're doing the whole thing.
They look like the 80s Houston Oilers running some run and shoot. Yeah, there you go.
So ball for Wayzata at the Anoka 8-yard line. This has been a bizarre fourth quarter. The last few minutes have been pretty bizarre. They'll go power formation here for Birkeland. Everybody in tight. Anoka called the timeout. They're down to 1 remaining, and they'll give it to Wong. And he'll be stacked up to about the 5.
And they'll call the timeout here, but they'll run basically one more play, and that's going to pin him.
Anoka.
Yeah, it's just a numbers game at this point. The big play was that run by Birkeland, the conversion. Got them the first down. They would have been in really good position regardless after that, but then the penalties, the late hit, and then the unsportsmanlike conduct penalties, over 30 yards and penalties, got them down inside the 10, and that's where they're at right now with 51.2 seconds remaining here in this one.
Yeah, you'll kick yourself. I mean, you just will at the end of the night. And, you credit Wayzata. Wayzata came out here tonight with a really good game plan. They came out and power ran a little bit, ran that read option, but then they went to the air. And I think when they went to the air and started hitting the Tornadoes for some big plays, really changed the complexion of how this game was played, how it was coached, how it was called, how it was officiated. It changed everything. And I think it got the Tornadoes playing a little bit differently. I think it took them out of what they scouted and what they saw on film. And I think they maybe made adjustments, but it was too late.
Third down, last timeout taken here by Anoka.
I expect them to take a knee, I would assume, unless they just want to pound it in at this point.
He'll hand off Wong. Wong running the far side, and he's bouncing off of tacklers, still going, and stops his forward progress at about the 2. And there's 1 second differential on the play clock. They're going to have to snap it one more time here.
Yep. So they might just hold on to it or run backwards a little bit, do whatever, or just take the knee and let him have the ball with 2 seconds, although that's a little risky.
But Wayzata is going to win this one. They're going to win their second Pumpkin Bowl in the last 64 years. Last played in the Pumpkin Bowl in 1960.
They've avenged that tie.
Yeah,
they avenged
it was a
the tie.
That's right. They avenged the tie.
They didn't forget about those 1960s players.
They heard about the tie.
They knew about it.
Wayzata.
So Wayzata will take the timeout with 1.3 to go.
Yeah.
And that's where I think, they'll take a snap or they'll do something here to just get this thing down to zeros.
And people might ask, well, a tie, why didn't they go to overtime? There was no overtime back then. That overtime didn't come in until the 1980s. That was in high school.
They didn't know how to work those clocks back then. They would have had to rewind them. Yeah,
exactly.
That wouldn't have worked.
Yeah, well, they weren't even digital clocks back then. They were the old analog clocks.
Exactly. I mean, you can't have that.
No.
So you saw a little bit of Coach Bo walking, certainly dejected. You say this about him. He, obviously wears his heart on his sleeve when he's coaching. So he's in every play, and these losses, no doubt, sting just as much as wins do. And that's the thing about coaching, right? Coaching, coaches put a lot of time into games, not just the players. Coaches do as well. So players will take it hard. Coaches will as well.
They'll have a lot to look at when they look at the video of this one, certainly. Getting ready for the playoffs. Berkland takes a snap back, and he'll go back to the 15, just take a knee. Zeros on the clock, and Wayzata has defeated Anoka in the 74th annual Pumpkin Bowl here in Anoka. Tornadoes led 14-7 at half. Wayzata would score the first touchdown in the second half to take their first lead, 15-14, and then a little back and forth. But Wayzata, they just made more plays and committed less penalties down the stretch and converted and executed just a little bit better. And Anoka couldn't find a way to come back.
Yeah, Anoka's going to be a tough team to deal with in the playoffs. There's no question about that. But this Wayzata team, we talked about it in the pregame. They were starting to find their way. I thought they really showed some interesting stuff tonight. At 4-4, they're going to be a really challenging playoff out, and it's going to be fun to watch for sure. But this was a fun one tonight.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed it. A lot of excitement from both sides.
No doubt about that. Now we wait for the games tomorrow, and then, of course, the 6A seedings that'll come out shortly thereafter, and they select and place the teams in their sections, and then the crossover matchups in the round of 32. Anoka is set coming into tonight as possibly the number 2 seed. We'll see how that factors out with Blaine having the same record entering play tonight as well. So Wayzata gets the win here tonight, 30-28. They finish the regular season 4-4, and Anoka finishes the regular season at 6-2. Heading to the playoffs. For the entire QCTV staff here for the Pumpkin Bowl, back in the truck, everybody outside, all of our camera operators. Tim, great working with you again. Great job on color commentary. There is the Pumpkin Bowl trophy. Wayzata will have their name etched on that trophy as winners of this game tonight by a score of 30-28. Good night, everybody. For Tim Anderson, I'm Jim Erickson. Good night from Goodrich Field on QCTV Sports.